It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. On a Thursday, happy to have you aboard. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and CB. Boys, how we feeling?
Life is good, man. Life is good. The sun is shining. I'm going to have a nice little warm day. I got the fam coming in town today, which is going to be awesome to see them. And last night was good. Got to watch Team USA, the basketball squad, beat up on Canada. I mean, Steph Curry throwing LeBron James oops is always a good time. And now I'm here with you for 3 more hours, which is always off the chain. How you doing?
Outstanding, my man. It's great. We've got a Gold Jacket Thursday today.
There we go.
And I went the extra mile and decided to give myself a little bit of a sound effect for our Gold Jacket Thursday. And let me truck this thing down the highway a little bit, or down the train tracks. I will tell you that he is one of my favorite players, and I think I would rarely do this I would rarely do this and say that a Hall of Famer is underrated, because that's counterintuitive. How can you be underrated if you were a Hall of Famer? Yeah. But I feel like when we talk about the position of running back, and especially back in the day, I don't think he gets enough run. I really don't. And John Riggins, affectionately known as the Diesel, is going to be, so crank up that diesel,
Did
Matty.
Shaq steal that from him? Did Shaq steal that from him?
I don't know. Shaq Diesel?
Shaq he named himself the Diesel. So something's not right about that.
By the way, that goes to my point. Probably just forgotten guy. And even though that was his nickname, it didn't quite transcend enough for somebody to say, nope, can't have that.
Crazy.
Somebody has it.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can have it if it's in a different sport. Because I heard this the other day. I heard Nick Kyrgios, there was a story that popped up on my phone. Nick Kyrgios, the tennis player, was talking about Daniil Medvedev, who's in the semifinals. And he's going to take on Alcaraz tomorrow morning. And the headline said that Kyrgios has made up like a really catchy nickname for Medvedev. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to click in. I'm going to take the bait. I'm going to take the bait, click in. Hopefully it's not some weird website that's now cooking up my phone or something, or
tap it into your bank account.
Tap it in, right. He's got the brand new Venmo, right? And I got to scroll down about 8 paragraphs to get to the payoff.
That's always sketchy.
So you got 84 pop-ups that you have to close out. And I finally get to it. You know what the nickname was?
What was it?
The Slim Reaper. Yeah, and I'm thinking,
well, that's in bounds. And here's why. Katie didn't want it. Katie said he didn't want to be the Slim Reaper.
What about Devontae Smith?
Oh, I didn't even know he was known as the Slim Reaper. I thought he was
not known enough, I guess.
What was he? What did A.J. Brown call him? Something Slim Batman or something like that? I thought he didn't see me.
Slim Batman is basically Robin.
He called him because he said we got 2 Batmans, but I can't remember the specific nickname he gave Smith. But I swear it was something in that world to where it was kind of like
a look at it.
I don't know, but I think you can get away with the Slim.
So AJ is Swole Batman and the other one is Slim. Is that what he's going for? I don't know.
It's ringing a bell that it was something
Skinny
like that.
Batman.
I don't know.
All right, because people said, who is Slim Reaper on the Eagles? Devontae Smith.
Okay.
So, but it took me 10 minutes to find a nickname that somebody already has. Anyway, so that's the deal. So the Diesel will come on at 2:33 with us. Love to get his view of the Theismann injury in 85. By the way, that was Riggs last year, and he was the one that took the handoff for the flea flicker and pitched it back to Theismann. And then Harry Carson and Lawrence Taylor met him.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a wonderful memory for him.
Well, I don't even know if he had a view of it, because once you pitch the ball back, then you're looking forward to block. So I doubt he even...
It'll be interesting to hear what he says.
He may have heard it.
Ooh.
I don't know if he saw it.
Which may haunt you for the rest of your life if you hear something like that. We're not going to haunt you with anything bad today because we got a nice pair of family 4-pack of tickets to the Cardell Jones charity softball game to give away. We're double dipping today, so we'll give away one pair at 1 o'clock, and we will do another pair right around 2:30 today. So stick with us if you're interested in going to the Cardell Jones charity softball game on July 20th, just 9 days away at Huntington Park.
Think somebody will get the answer today, Maddie, or are we going to go trifecta tomorrow?
Maybe our questions stink between our questions not hitting this week, our phone lines crapping out. It's been a little rough week for the giveaways on Rothman and Ice.
People call a radio station, they expect to win prizes.
Not mad at it.
This is a radio station. We ask that you bear with us. I want to give a little bit of credit. I've seen a lot of articles and stories written about the Jackets and the coaching stuff. And I don't know them personally, but I read a story today on unionandblue.com by Curtis Deem and it was headlined that the botched head coaching hire points to dysfunctional Blue Jacket organization. I got to tell you, he's not wrong. This feels like a big swing and a miss if they didn't get McClellan. Now, I know he's not a household name. I get that. And when I put it out on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, I was getting a lot of pushback. Oh, wait a minute. We're getting some regurgitated coach or some retread from back in 2005 who worked with Babcock. Like, if you're paying attention at all, he made the playoffs 6 out of 7 times with San Jose and made the conference finals twice with that team. He worked with Babcock. And by the way, so what? Like, it was 20 years ago.
What does that matter?
And they won a cup.
Yeah,
so any attachment to the guy that came in and completely just cut his own coaching career out from himself, that has nothing to do with that. My point on this is that I get the feeling that and I'm not ripping Waddell here. I'm just saying that from an organizational standpoint, you targeted your guy. You told us you wanted experience. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about just experience. There are levels of experience. But when a guy like Waddell throws out, I want experience, we're not talking about a guy who's been a coach for a couple of years. Like, you want a guy that's been around. So solid experience. You target your guy. He's available. You interview him. Presumably he wants the job. And from my gathering on this, it's money. And I told you that, and it was my biggest fear that this is a chance to spend money outside of a cap and get a guy that you feel, because when you throw out buzzwords like culture and this and like, okay, then put your money where your mouth is. This was the guy. And I'm not saying if they go sign Dean Evison or Jay Woodcroft or Jeff Blashill or somebody else, that person won't turn out to be a good coach. Yeah. I have no guarantee on that. Like, if they swing and miss on this, that suddenly no one else available could be good for them. I just feel like you told us what you wanted. You had what you wanted. And then it comes down to, we're going to budget the head coach? Because I got to tell you, you know how close I was with Torts. And I'm not getting this from him. I'm just telling you that I feel like a guy of his stature was a discount at the time. He was an absolute discount. And I know NHL teams reset at salaried head coach. It happens all the time. But this is a brand new chance to stamp your form here and not waste anybody's time, a la Shawshank Redemption. So you just stamp your form, Sonny, and stop wasting my time. Just don't throw out buzzwords like culture and experience. And then it comes down to possibly that we're going to squeeze play this thing and try to get him under a certain number. Like, I felt this was the time to say, we're going to back this. And it feels like a miss to me. Maybe they could go back, sharpen their pencil, but I don't know what damage has been done or the negotiation where it stands now. But I guarantee you they may have missed out on a good man, a very good coach, a guy that wanted to be here, and a guy that would fit this culture march that they want to sell. And I feel like this was a chance. It doesn't mean that they can't get a good coach. I'm not saying that. But there's something about this, Maddie, that doesn't feel right. And I think that Union and Blue had the same feeling I had.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm with them on that because it's not a great vibe to send out to your fan base when we're trying to get off the mat. And this could be a guy that could really help you go in the right direction. So you're talking about a guy in McClellan he's top 25 all time in wins. So I don't know what people really want or don't like about him and his resume.
I think is just for a couple of social media stuff. I don't want to put that on the organization.
No, I'm just saying, like, this for some people that you're saying are in the Twitterverse or whatever that are pushing back on that. Like, to me, he seems very qualified for what we want. And that is it's a tough look, right? Especially if that is the case, that he was on board with being the Jackets' new head coach, and you shortchanged the guy a little bit. Let me ask you this. Did they have to work with the Kings on anything financially in this?
Doesn't matter.
Did they have any impact on this?
Not in my knowledge.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because I just thought about that.
Your guy.
And maybe that was some type of hiccup in the situation. But at the end of the day, with what you just said right there, that's what it comes down to. And you talk about this young core that we have, and there's some excitement about what could be on the ice. You like to have a guy, I think, on the bench with some seasoning that can show these guys the way and help guide them throughout certain situations. So we're the only hockey club in the league right now with an opening at head coach. So I'm sure Don Waddell feels like they can be as patient as they want to be, but it's going to be a massive what-if kind of hovering over this franchise if McClellan goes on somewhere else in the future and turns into a good head coach and turns another team into a very good hockey club. So like you said, some good candidates still left on the board, and maybe that will be beneficial for us. I know you mentioned the two guys there and Woodcroft and Evanson. They've worked together on Team Canada from some of the stuff I've read, and Rick Nash was the GM on that team. So I'm sure Rick Nash has some good insight on those guys, and Don has an open ear to what Rick has to say about him and trust his word on this. So we'll see what happens. The other thing I thought about too was the assistants that are still kind of in a holding pattern, right, from the last staff. Like, those guys are in a tough spot because whoever the next guy is, they're clearly going to have say in who they want on their staff. So I feel for those guys kind of right now wondering, what the heck am I doing with my future around the league?
Yeah, it was, they made a little splash in free agency. The draft was certainly a splash. We had Caden Lindstrom in, wonderful kid. Yeah. I feel like if and it is the big if somehow, his health becomes hopefully never an issue, then they've got a really, really budding potential superstar there down the middle. And, they had a little momentum going. And I wanted them to ride that momentum and bring in a guy who's been around Sharks, Oilers, Kings, and made all those playoffs, won a cup years ago as an assistant. And so I just felt like rarely would you have a chance to get to the end of this point and have that guy available. Now, is he expensive? Potentially. But they paid a guy $4 million in Babcock who never coached here. So it's not like they're not willing. I don't know if they'd probably have to pay him all the $4 million, but they were going to because they felt he was worth it. Yeah. And so maybe and I'm not telling them what they think is worth it. They know more than I do. They figured he was worth this amount, but that's my point. If he's your guy and you want him, but you only want him at a certain price, then that cuts your whole mentality of what's important. That a coach is only good if you pay him this much. That's a dangerous game to play. And I think he would have. Maybe they can rescue it. It doesn't feel like it to me. They'll probably move on, but this is where it is. I just wanted to mention that, and we'll keep an eye on it. All right, we got a lot to do today. We'll have Jared Dubin, NFL CBS Sports, coming on bottom of the hour. We'll have Maddie's parents as guests today, hopefully. You got a time for them yet? As far as
they probably want nothing to do
crack a mic open and throw on a headset?
Yeah, they probably want nothing to do with the microphone, but they'll be in the building.
Pay to play? Can we pay them?
With your bank account, it won't.
We pay to play?
They got big asking price, but it won't hurt your bank account, that's for sure.
Well, we just talked about what it's worth. Like, you set the price, and maybe we'll meet it. All right, we'll come back. Joe Burrow, Maddie, ruffling feathers of a former player, and he says maybe a lot more. We'll tell you what that means. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Low testosterone causes many issues, including low sex drive, bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. But many men just attribute these symptoms to aging and don't consider that there are medical treatments that can give them back their vigor and vibrancy. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating low T. And if you're feeling like I just described, it's time for you to treat that low T. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone. We've successfully treated many men for the condition and seen the amazing difference that those treatments can make in a man's life. If you're like most men with low T, within just a few weeks, your energy will return, that brain fog will disappear, your sleep will improve, as will your workouts, and your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So call us and make a true life change. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
Pre-order the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6 powered by Galaxy AI with Spectrum-free anytime upgrade. Use Circle to search with Google to see more and search more on the large Z Fold 6 screen. Or capture perfectly framed pics using FlexCam and Z Flip 6. Pre-order through Spectrum and get up to $1,000 off, plus double the storage on us. Hurry, offer ends July 23rd. Visit a Spectrum store or SpectrumMobile.com today. Offer subject to change, valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You want a picnic with Giannino's Family Feast? A large one-topping pizza, 8 pieces of fried chicken and JoJo's, and a pint of coleslaw.
Giannino's Pizzeria, with locations in Pickerington and Westerville.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box,
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let's talk about your sleep, specifically if you're not getting enough of it. If you're feeling groggy all day because you didn't sleep well, that is an awful feeling. I've been there. And if you're snoring when you sleep, well, that could be a big reason why you aren't feeling rested. This fact surprised even me the first time I heard it, and that is as you age, your risk of having obstructive sleep apnea nearly doubles. That's right. You need to find out if your snoring is related to sleep apnea, because if it is, there's actually help available for you right now. Dr. Mark Levy is board certified in the treatment of sleep apnea, and he offers a custom-fitted oral appliance that effectively treats sleep apnea. I have been telling you about this for years. And maybe you've been snoring for years. Now's the time to get this fixed. Plus, most Medicare patients have little to no out-of-pocket costs for this treatment. So you need to stop putting it off. Don't ignore your snore. Get your sleep apnea treated by calling Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Get the life back you deserve. Call Dr. Mark Levy today, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm getting married today.
You may now kiss the bride.
I'm also a firefighter and first responder. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're also making sure I can get to my wedding ceremony to start the next chapter of my life.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Let's all give them room to work. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot of sunshine out there today as high pressure sits right on top of us. Going 83 for the high today, mid-60s overnight tonight. Another sunny day on your Friday with a high close to 90. There could be a 20% chance of rain Friday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 PB weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This This is Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
I didn't really think when we discussed this the other day that any real controversy was going to come from it. And I'm not saying it's a big controversy. It's one player who tweeted out that, wow, I hate this, and everybody else will probably hate it as far as players go. I actually thought the players would be on board with this. Now, when Joe was on, it was with Barstool, right? All right.
Yeah, pardon my take.
Yeah, so when he was on, and I went back to listen to it again, and they asked him, like, what the perfect schedule would be. Like, what's the perfect NFL schedule? And you know what he said to him? Well, how many games we playing? Mm-hmm. And one of the guys suggested 18. And then when Burrow said, okay, 18, why don't we do this? It really wasn't that he came out and said, hey, everybody, put down what you're doing. I got an idea. Let's play 18 games and have a bye week here in 13 and all of that, right? You want to hear it from Joey?
Well, I was just going to say real quick, the reason why it's being brought up is it's been reported on, specifically Mike Florio's put it out a lot, that the league's next step is they want to move to 18 games. So between them and the Players Association trying to find the happy medium on how to adjust with that if it goes to that point.
Well, we know for sure that Roger Goodell and ownership, they're going to want this because it's another check, and they're never going to pass up on more money. So on that side of things, they absolutely are going to be on board. And I think even zooming out from Joe Burrow's comments about this, this is probably happened. This probably would happen anyway. So that's why I don't know that Joe Burrow, yes, he is a huge face and has a huge voice around the league. But when you got a former quarterback in Chase Daniel, you know, really it seems like his feathers got ruffled about this. And he's speaking for other players, too, because you mentioned what Burrow said. And Chase Daniel tweeted out yesterday, I guarantee you every NFL player seeing this is, in all caps, not happy with Burrow for saying this. The NFLPA is already having meetings about damage control. The owners just gained some leverage over the players. This is what happens when a top 5 quarterback speaks in favor of an 18-game season.
So, and I don't want to have to repeat it. If that's exactly what he said, CB, unless there's a little twinge to it that you want to play. I just wanted to point out the fact that he didn't come out and say, guys, I have something I want to say or I want to talk about. He was pitched this by them. What's the perfect schedule? How about 18 games? All right, well, if we're going to do 18 games, I think we need 2 bye weeks. Let's put the Pro Bowl in week 13. Now, I'm not saying it was off the cuff. He clearly has thought about this.
He's brought it up before. This isn't the first time I've heard him talk about this. It's just we're in a window of time right now where there's not a lot going on. So when Joe Burrow sits down on a big time podcast, it's going to get a lot of attention. So this isn't the first time he's even talked about this.
Chase Daniel went on to say that the NFLPA, and this is maybe the meatier part of it, because this is not just one guy's just feeling, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
He says the NFLPA is already having meetings about damage control, that the owners just gained some leverage over the players. And this is what happens, like you said, when a top 5 quarterback, you know. And so when you read that part was the meat in the middle of that sandwich that you read, which was, I guarantee you some of the players aren't happy. This is what happens when a top 5 guy speaks. It was that meat in the middle, which is, wait a minute, what just happened here? And I agree with you. If the players can make more money, they may be willing to play more games or another game. I grew up in the era of 14-game season. 17 seemed absurd. 16 to 17, now to 18. I think supersizing everything in this world, just making it bigger isn't better.
We're doing it in college football right now. Like we're doing it right now in college football with just
expanded playoff.
What I'm saying, the more games players have to play. And there's obviously, and one of my big fears in this, when we're just going back to the NFL real quick, is if you go to that 18-game schedule, is just the injuries. I mean, look at last year around the NFL. And look in Cleveland last year. CB, what'd you guys have? 4 or 5 quarterbacks start games for you? Last year, 5? What was it? DTR,
the
Deshaun,
last one, the best.
Flacco, Driscoll, and who am I missing? One more, right? Oh, was it P.J. Walker? I think P.J. Walker got a game in with you guys.
So, you actually got the toughest one of the 5.
I think you had another one. He said Driscoll?
Yeah, he said Driscoll. He got the tough one. But yeah, I think you did miss P.J. Walker.
Yeah, he played in a
I mentioned
lineup.
PJ
He
Walker.
played in a
Either
few
way,
games.
my point is you guys get it. It was 4 or 5 quarterbacks alone for the Cleveland Browns. And around the NFL, there were 66 different starting quarterbacks last year. And now we're talking about adding another game, and that's just the quarterback position. And think about that; those guys aren't in harm's way as much as a running back or a D lineman or an offensive lineman. Like the league tries to protect these guys as much as they can, and we almost had 70 different starting quarterbacks play last year. So it's just I think going to be tough. On the players, tougher on the players, but at the end of the day, Roger Goodell and the owners and all the big-time decision makers, they probably care more about money than they do about maybe the health of the players. And I know that's sad to say, but it's hard to ignore some of the moves that they've made. You got to follow their actions.
Yeah, I want to protect, not that Burrow needs protecting, at least in the public. He definitely needs protecting on the field. He didn't directly say that he favored 18 over 17. He was arguing for the 2 bye weeks if you're going to do an 18-game schedule. So I think this backlash over this may be overstated. I'm not going to – Chase Daniel knows more than I do or talks to more people than I do, so he knows what's going on. If he feels like they've lost some leverage over this, but these guys get paid a ton of money to risk their health, and they have a short shelf life, some of them, and so this is kind of where they are. If they don't do it, there's another guy that's waiting, says, I'll do it. And so – I don't know. The 2 bye weeks felt good to me if I was a player. The extra game is an extra game check. I don't see where the massive controversy over this is other than from our standpoint, from the fan standpoint, which is that maybe you would have to do a whole week without game. And
we'll live.
Of course we will, because you'll have college football filling it up.
We'll be fine.
Absolutely.
And the other thing I thought about, too, that may receive some pushback from the player side of things is we're probably pushing the Super Bowl down, to the bottom of February? It'd be a few weeks later than obviously what it originally would be, and I wonder how they would feel about your off-season schedule. Does that squeeze your off-season schedule more and, less time to let your body rest and all of those things? Obviously, the players could only answer that, but that's another aspect that I thought about this is with the extended schedule now and the postseason being even longer, what does that do for these guys when we talk OTAs and minicamp and letting your body reset and get ready for another year?
You know what? It's hard for me to get so crazy. It seems like they're revamping stuff every year in pro football, less preseason games and all of that. I mean, it's just they're the biggest thing going. And they know it. And so it's not going to be perfect. I agree with you. It is so violent. Joe even made the comment, though, having the extra bye week, or even I think one of the guys on Barstool actually put out the let's reset it. Let's have the week. If we're going to take another week off, a complete week off of the league, let's have it the week before Christmas. Let's let college football have their round of the playoffs with no NFL. Let's give the NFL players a chance with their families over the holiday. And Joe was like, yeah, that sounds good. And then move the Super Bowl to the Sunday right before President's Day. So then kids are off of school on Monday, and that it all would line up that way. And every time I heard it, I'm like, now they patted themselves on the back by saying, we just fixed football. I don't know if you fixed it. You may have advanced the ball down the field a little bit as far as the money goes, and maybe some helpful stuff for the players. So I'm a little surprised at the intense backlash.
It's just one guy.
But it's one guy saying that a lot of other guys. I don't know what that means. He goes, I guarantee you, he said every NFL player seeing this is not
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way he could
a little too spicy
do the
right
scientific
because, like you said,
on
there might be some guys that are like, it's another game check.
Right.
Pay for my college tuition for my kids.
Or it's another game that if we're good enough, the starters will be rested, and maybe I get to show myself, or I get in a game that I'm not supposed to be in.
Hit my incentives.
Very possible. Right. All right, we'll come back. Jared Dubin, we'll run it by him. He covers the league for CBS Sports. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
O'Reilly. O'Reilly Auto Parts is your exclusive in-person advance sale ticket outlet for the 2024 Ohio State Fair. Discount admission tickets are $8 at participating stores. Enjoy food, entertainment, animals, rides, and so much more at the Ohio State Fair, July 24th through August 4th. Get advance sale tickets now through Tuesday, July 23rd. Only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes drinks like Coke and Sprite, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 Roof.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Sunday's the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tino and Devere Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When an orthopedic injury or condition gets in the way of life, there is nothing more important than finding a physician you can trust. At Orthopedic One, you'll find Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts, ready to listen to your concerns and work with you toward the best possible outcome. In fact, more people trust Orthopedic One than any other practice in Central Ohio. Start with the specialists. Start with orthopedic1.com.
Attention, boating enthusiasts. Bennington Factory demonstration models are at Buckeye Lake Marina. These exclusive demo units are loaded with the features built to dazzle at shows and exhibits. And guess what? They're all brand new with a full warranty. Some have never even touched the water. Hold on to your mooring ropes because we're offering dock shaking discounts up to $40,000 only at Buckeye Lake Marina. These deals are hotter than the summer sun and won't last long. Visit Buckeye Lake Marina and make your dream boat a reality today. BuckeyeLakeMarina.com, where your adventure begins.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
It would be the best story, not only in tennis, but maybe in sports.
We were just two young black girls playing in Compton. This is not normally how that story goes. I looked different. I played different. I was more emotional. I was better. I was stronger. I had muscles. I was something that no one had ever seen before, ever.
Stream the ESPN Plus original series, In the Arena, Serena Williams, presented by Morgan Stanley, now on ESPN Plus.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, Joey B coming back with a vengeance, right? Healthy, talking schedules and making people remember him. So Joe Burrow will be president accounted for this year. Jared Dubin's our guy, NFL reporter for CBS Sports. He jumps on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Dubes, welcome back. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. I want to get your feeling on this because everything I've read, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the league will eventually move to 18 games. The CBA has restricted of going past 17 until that expires. If I'm right, that doesn't happen until 2031 at the earliest. So is that true, or could they just rip that up and get agreement with the Players Association if they wanted to go to 18 sooner?
As far as I know, it would be allowed to get an agreement with the players, but there would have to be obviously some sort of agreement with them. The Players Association would have to agree to it. They can't just unilaterally say we're playing 18 games, and I would imagine the players would ask for some sort of concession in return, but it's hard to see that happening, honestly, until the next CBA, from an opinion standpoint.
I mean, it's pretty... Is it good for the league? Bad for the league? I mean, one more game, 18, maybe throw in another bye week. How do you feel about it?
I mean, more games is probably not the direction I would go, player safety-wise and whatnot. I think it's hard to say that you care about player safety when you keep adding more games to the season. If you do, you absolutely have to add another bye week. There's no real justification for only having one. And I think I saw Joe Burrow's idea was to have everybody have the same bye week at one point. And if it were me, I would just do that twice. You play 6 games, everybody gets a bye. You play another 6, everybody gets a bye, and then you finish out the season. That's how I would do it.
Yeah,
if they were adding another game.
Yeah, not mad at that idea at all. Let's talk about the Bengals for you right now, in your opinion. But a couple weeks away from training camp getting rolling for everybody around the league. Where are they stacking up for you on paper in the AFC at the moment?
Yeah, I think they're sort of like a 1A, 1B situation with the Ravens in the AFC North. Everybody obviously is chasing after the Chiefs. I don't really see anybody that's on the same level as them, but they're certainly in that next mix of teams. I think improving the safety room should help them a lot, because the way that they've liked to play defense under Lou Anarumo, it's been a lot of changing coverages, and you really need experienced, smart guys on the back end. And, bringing Bell back, bringing in Geno Stone, I think that'll help them a lot on that end. And that should sort of help the defense play better than they did for a lot of last season. And then the offense, we know what they're going to be if Joe Burrow's healthy. They're going to be good. It's just a matter of keeping him on the field.
Jared, stop me when you hear a team that you feel is going to be slept on this year. I just quickly jotted down a few. Indy, Atlanta, Denver, Arizona. Any of those teams jump out to you, or give me an other that somebody's going to sleep on this year that shouldn't?
I think Indy is a pretty good one. The way that they ran their offense last year with Gardner Minshew at quarterback was really impressive. And I think we've just seen in every single stop that Shane Steichen has been, he gets the best out of his quarterbacks. And now he has, one of the more talented quarterbacks in the league, just in terms of the physical talent that Anthony Richardson has. It's pretty incredible. And I have a lot of confidence in Steichen's ability to scheme things up. The questions for me for that team come on defense. And I'm just not sure that they're going to be able to really compete at a high level on that side of the ball. But if you're good on offense, you can be a good team, and I think they're going to be good on offense.
Let's stay in the AFC South and get your take on the addition of Stephon Diggs to what was already a high-powered offense with C.J. Stroud and company. That trio of wide receivers down there in H-Town, what do you think they're going to be cooking up this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible. I don't think that you can find a better trio of wideouts in the league. I think that the alleged decline, I guess I would say, of Stephon Diggs is a bit overblown. The Bills just didn't throw as often in the second half of the season, and his role changed a little bit to where he was doing more short area stuff, but he was still earning targets at an incredibly high level in terms of, the rate of times he was targeted, depending on how often the Bills were throwing, his, targets per route or percent of team targets. He still has the ability to command targets and command defensive attention at a really high level. And, I mean, Nico Collins just looked like a surefire alpha number one wide receiver last year. And when he was healthy, Tank Dell was arguably even better than him. It's just an absolute embarrassment of riches that they have. And they've got, one of the better young play callers in the league that showed a high-level ability to put guys in position to succeed last year. Like, Noah Brown never did anything in 5 or 6 seasons in Dallas, and all of a sudden last year, he looked like a starting caliber wide receiver. Like, they just know what they're doing down there in terms of that offensive system. They have obviously incredible playmakers on the outside. Even Dalton Schultz is like a good security blanket over the middle, and C.J. Stroud obviously is just an unbelievably good player. Like, and their offensive line almost has to be healthier, too. It was the most injured offensive line in the league last year. They should be better up front, and that's only going to make them better.
So the Browns were 11-6 with a combination of Deshaun Watson, DTR, P.J. Walker, Flacco at the end a lot, and then they threw Driscoll in at the end. Chubb, though, we don't know what he's going to be. They added Jerry Jeudy. Deshaun Watson, if he's healthy. Like I said, this was an 11-win football game with the bulk of it without Deshaun Watson. How do you feel about him this year?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think you can count on Deshaun Watson to play at anything approaching the level that he played in Houston. Like, it's at this point, it's been 4 years, and obviously there are some extenuating circumstances with him, entirely of his own fault, obviously, but it doesn't come back when you're 4 years removed from being an elite player. That's just not something that we see happen. And it's hard for me to envision them being a real contender when I don't have confidence that their offense can be good, because I don't have confidence that their quarterback can be good. And if the defense isn't as good as it was last year, which is like one of the best defenses of the last 25 years or so, then it's hard to see them being as good as they were last year. And, you know, while you would think the defense can be close to as good or even as good, like, you don't just put together a top 15 defensive season in a 25-year period back-to-back years. It just doesn't happen, even if the talent level is good. Like, health luck and turnover luck and all these different things can contribute to taking a step back. And it's just hard for me to envision them being as good on defense, and I don't have confidence in their offense. So for me, it seems like a step back kind of team.
How much of a threat can the Chargers and Harbaugh be in year one in the AFC this year?
I mean, I think that he'll get the most out of that roster as is possible to get, but I don't think that there's a lot to get out of it right now. Like, this is going to be sort of a 2, 3, 4 year, whatever it is, kind of period of them ramping up to the point where they're contenders. Like, you look at the skill position players over there, as good as Justin Herbert is, he just does not have a lot of options on that side of the ball. And to me, the offense is less concerning than the defense. You know, like, I think Jesse Minter is a good defensive coordinator, really creative. And we've seen that sort of Michigan-style defense and the Ravens-style defense is sort of the same kind of system. And we've seen it work really well. I don't think they necessarily have the talent on that side of the ball, particularly up front. So, like, between the skill position talent on offense, there are still, questions on the interior of the offensive line, too. And then I just don't think there's a lot of talent necessarily outside of the secondary on defense. So I think they'll get the most of what is possible to get, but I don't think there's that much to get to the point where you can consider them like a contender or anything like that.
Nice visit with our friend Jared Dubin, CBS Sports, covering the NFL. Thanks, Jared. Be well, man. We'll talk again.
Thanks for having me. Have a good weekend.
You too. He was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Prize time? Potentially?
Top of the hour. We promised 1 o'clock.
I'm sorry.
1 o'clock.
Okay, we want to be accurate. Thought I'd throw him a curveball. Catch the 1 or 2 people that are listening. Increase their odds a little bit. All right, we come back. Best of the edge. Do the Bengals actually have an underrated force? We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If your idea of the perfect radio show is all Buckeyes all the time, then it's your lucky day, Slappy. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Come play Skyline's 75th Coney Hunt game. Use your phone to search for virtual conies, tap to collect coins, and redeem them for exclusive Skyline merchandise at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time. Details at skylinechili.com/Coney Hunt.
Attention aspiring media stars. Are you ready to take your talent to the next level? Register for your chance to win the Be On Air Summer Slam contest. This is your chance to showcase your skills in a thrilling 30-second live script challenge. Visit now at studiocontest.com to secure your spot and compete for amazing prizes, including a 4-hour studio session, Shure MV7 microphone, and Audio-Technica M20X headphones. Don't miss out on this dynamic event. Be On Air Summer Slam contest, where talent meets opportunity. Visit studiocontest.com and sign up today.
Okay, so that's the final price. Oh, an extra fee to drive here. Is that it? A knock on the door fee. So is that the final price? A 15% Wednesday surcharge. What for? Oh, because it's Wednesday. Of course. Can I get back to you on this?
Apex Pros, the pros who knows.
This quote you gave me, are there any other charges I don't know about?
Other charges?
Like an it's too sunny fee or my dog wet the carpet tax?
No, Apex always gives you upfront pricing.
No surprise fees?
Never.
No charge if your stomach hurts or you lost your library card?
Upfront pricing every time at Apex Pros, whether it's plumbing, heating, and AC, or our new electrical services.
I'll call you right back. Hello, other company? Hi, me again.
It's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear. You'll never get a surprise charge with the Apex Pros upfront price guarantee. Schedule an appointment now at apexpros.com.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Why sweat over a hot grill? Treat yourself and your family to a pizza queue. Order great tasting Giannino's Pizza.
Giannino's great tasting pizza with fresh ingredients, with locations in Pickerington and Westerville.
Common Man and T-Bone.
New fragrance by Stinky McGee.
Creepo Taco Show hosto guy.
Taco show?
Oh, there's a taco show.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BICEP to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BICEP to 321-321. That's BICEP to 321-321.
Want to know anything about the Fan's contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right. Top of the hour, we'll hand out those tickets. Be listening. Tease was that maybe the Bengals have an underrated force. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Where does Trey Hendrickson stack up for you? Top 10 edge rusher?
Yeah, he's there for me. He's there for me. So what's been pretty cool is Jeremy Fowler. He's the senior NFL national reporter. Got to put some respect on his name. He's been doing some pieces over at ESPN of executives, coaches, and scouts around the league have been ranking the top 10 guys at each position. And it came out yesterday, the edge rushers list. And you brought up Trey Hendrickson, and it's over 80 voters have been in on this. So that's pretty cool to get just a vibe check of some big-time decision makers around the sport. And since we're talking about Trey Hendrickson, we can start with him. He came in at 9 on the list. And that it feels kind of appropriate for me, even though he's not talked about enough, in my opinion. Like this dude, he came up from New Orleans, and he's been an absolute force for them. It just feels like every week he's making an impactful play, whether it's a sack or he's heating up the quarterback, whatever it is. Him opposite Sam Hubbard has been a big hit for him. And I know he had a little bit of a funky contract situation going on this offseason, but that seems to be okay right now. And he's going to be in the mix when training camp starts here soon, and he'll be off and running. But Trey Hendrickson comes in at 9.
So I just brought up just to kind of put this in perspective for people, because I agree he's there. So over the last 3 seasons, I should probably I could even add more. So in 21, 14 sacks, 8, then 17 and a half.
Yeah. He's got the goods, man.
I will tell you this. If you go to the list of sacks, I'm sorry, over the past 4 years, let's add the 4th, because I don't want to leave out that 2020 year where he had 13 and a half. The only players with more sacks than Trey Hendrickson over the past 4 years are named Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt.
Yeah, it's elite company right there.
So if he wasn't top 10, I think that would be a real miss.
I agree.
Yeah.
So it's good that he's getting some respect around the league from some of his peers and some of the decision makers. You mentioned Myles Garrett. He's the king of the castle right now. He's the king of the castle according to some of these executive coaches and scouts around the NFL. He is number 1. Following him is T.J. Watt. And so we all know here in the AFC North country what these guys are about. You have your handful and then some when you see the Steelers and the Browns on your schedule, because at some point in time, one of these guys is going to make a big-time play. So we're talking 2 out of the last 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards have gone to these dudes, and in between that is the former Buckeye and Nick Bosa. So Garrett and Watt, they're on the cusp of joining some real elite company if they win another Defensive Player of the Year, because there's only been 8 guys in the history of the NFL that have won multiple Defensive Players of the Year. And it's Lawrence Taylor, Joe Green, Mike Singletary, Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Ray Lewis, J.J. Watt, TJ's brother, and Aaron Donald. Like, that's elite company that they're about to enter, because I do think either it's going to be both these guys or one of these guys for sure can win another one with how productive and just how good they are every single season.
So we're splitting hairs when it comes to the list, right? Because all these guys are really good. And so I just pulled up Pro Football Focus, because I think sometimes, because Watt led the league in sacks last year. So inherently he's going to be right there at the top of anybody's list or right next to Myles Garrett. But I will tell you something. I want to know if you find this interesting, because I do.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt's win rate, pass rush win rate, is not better than Nick Bosa, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, or maybe another one in there. So actually, Nick Bosa, his win rate on Pro Football Focus is 22%. And T.J. Watt's is 16. Bosa's consistently been pretty dominant here. I'm not saying that's the be-all, end-all win rate. I'm just saying that's a real analytic. How much do they win? Not when they're blitzing unblocked or they somehow squeeze through a hole in a gap and get to a quarterback and get the number and get the sack, but win rate. Pro Football Focus has, ironically, Micah Parsons right there on Garrett's heels. 24% win rate.
Yeah, he feels like the young guy that could grab another one or grab his first Defensive Player of the Year award. They've got him at 3 on this list. So rounding out the top 5 is Micah Parsons at 3, Nick Bosa at 4, and then who I think can win Defensive Player of the Year this year, and that's Max Crosby for the Raiders. I think this guy isn't he may be a household name, but maybe he's not, just because the Raiders haven't been that good over the last couple years. But I think this year, based off of what he's been building the last 2 seasons and 14.5 sacks last year, and now getting him a inside presence on the D-line with Christian Wilkins from Miami, who's a stud, he's going to be in more one-on-one situations. So I like Max Crosby right now, and he's second on the board at Bet365 to win Defensive Player of the Year behind Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons plus 500, Max Crosby plus 700, and he's tied. And actually, there's a tie, a 4-way tie for second with Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, TJ Watt, and Max Crosby.
It's nothing not to like. I looked at, when they list the win rate, his win rate's above 15%. He pressures the quarterback at a great rate, too. It looks like they do want to have his grade of run defense come up a little bit, but he's in a big 5, big 6. The name I would throw out, and I like Max, is Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I think that he had more QB pressures in the regular season than Max. He ranks second only to Parsons in that. Now, his win rate jumped tremendously. Hutchinson's win rate went from 12% in 22 to 21% last year. So he's a force. He's coming. He's on a good team. Their defense is getting better.
You mentioned what I was going to say. I think that's going to be part of it, too, is that Aiden Hutchinson's going to be in some big-time games. I'm sure a lot of prime-time games for the Lions this year. His value is pretty good, too. He's at 14-1 to win Defensive Player of the Year. So they've made some moves on defense that could potentially help him, especially on the back end. But Aiden Hutchinson, just because of the attention the Lions are going to get, you make some big-time plays in those nationally televised games, he could definitely be on his way. So I think that's a good call, too.
Let's find a sleeper. Is Bryce Huff in there at all for the Eagles? Is he on your list of odds? I'm trying to find a sleeper in here.
Bryce Huff.
Not in there?
He could be in here.
He's probably way down on the list.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at these win rates that PFF put out. He's at 25.6, and he's been getting after the quarterback a lot for the Eagles over the last couple of years.
I'm not seeing him.
Is Josh Allen from the Jags on there?
He changed his name, didn't he? What's the new name?
Yeah, what is his new name?
I think his new name is. Let me find that for you, because I swear I saw.
See, that's not good when you're trying to be a household name. Don't change it.
I think Josh Hines Allen.
Okay.
He wants to separate himself from the Buffalo. He is at 14-1 too with Aiden Hutchinson, so that's pretty good value as well. Another guy, and he's going to fight with his teammates, so I don't love that, are the 2 pass rushers in Houston because of how good they could be. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter.
Yes, that's right.
Will Anderson's 30-1, Danielle Hunter's 33-1, and Danielle Hunter on this list, he came in at, I want to say 7. Yeah, he came in at 7th.
He's a double-digit sack guy. I know that from a couple years with the Vikes, and so that's not a bad play. But all right, so Josh Hines Allen, the anticipation of Josh Hines Allen is making me wait. We will come back and we'll hand out those tickets if you have the answer. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me: pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet Store, America's arch supports experts.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. Let's go college football. It's quickly approaching, folks. In a couple of weeks, we have Big Ten Media Days. It's at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indy. It's a 3-day event, 6 schools holding press conferences on each day. Ohio State will be up day 1, Tuesday, July 23rd. The players that will represent the Buckeyes will be cornerback Denzel Burke, wide receiver Emeka Egbuka, and defensive end Jack Sawyer. That's a solid trio. Michigan will be up there on day 3, July 25th. They'll send tight end Max Bredesen, running back Donovan Edwards, and safety Makari Page. Baseball ready to fire up here on a Thursday. Reds going for a series win in the 4-game set against the Rockies. 1:10 first pitch coming up. Hunter Green gets the ball. That's a Great American. And the Guards are trying to salvage a split in Detroit. 1:10 first pitch there as well. This one sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. BMI has been voted best credit union 6 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit BMIFCU.org to learn more.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes. Get into a little Buckeye talk here in a moment. A little fill in the blank this hour. Of course, we'll update you with the Buckeye Bulletin on the reps at the Big Ten meetings. And Ice, let's hand out the prize.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now. The prize is a family 4-pack of tickets to the Cardale Jones charity softball game on Saturday, July 20th at Huntington Park. 614-821-9710 is CB's phone number. Who was, the former NFL quarterback calling out Joe Burrow? If you get that right, CB's going to hand you a family 4-pack of tickets to the Cardale Jones charity softball game on Saturday, July 20th at Huntington Park.
Little optional rally fun pack. That sounds good to me. Hopefully we'll get a winner this time.
Before CB starts to spin, exactly. Before CB starts to spin some sound, let me get that right. Have you seen
spinning in sin? That's usually what happens with him.
Have you seen these robot umpires that are going to be at the MLB All-Star game next week?
Robot butchers? No.
Did I say umpires?
No, yeah.
Not the umpires. Bartenders that are going to be at the MLB All-Star game next week. This is creeping me out. The video is pretty cool, but it also makes me sad because it's like, man, like
eliminating the jobs.
We're taking jobs away from people, but some company has made these robots to where you're going to go up to the bar or to the concession stand, wherever they're going to have these things, and you punch in the screen whatever you want them to make, and they're going to chef up the drink for you. And it's scaring the crap out of me because it reminds me of iRobot, and the robots are going to turn on us eventually.
Some of them were friendly in iRobot. Like
but
the
then
one
it
guy
got bad.
Yeah.
Then it got bad.
Can they only do drinks or are they doing food too?
I've only seen drinks.
This is pretty awesome. I'm looking at it. Looks very efficient.
Not bad, right?
I mean, yes. sometimes it's nicer to have a human being there. But I'm trying to think what the positives. The positives, it could be much more efficient, right? If you know what you're doing, you get in there. Probably won't. Probably not going to accidentally spill it on you or.
But, sometimes you meet those nice bartenders and the drinks, the pour's a little heavier. This is going to be down to a science, to the exact ounce.
Well, the hands are going to be clean. You'll like that.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I went to the gas station. I went to the gas station the other day, and I paid in cash to get gas. And they have these machines now to where the person running the front desk, you don't even need them anymore. You go up to the screen. They have all the pump numbers there. You pump one, and I put in $25 in cash, and it was done. Like this, it's cool to me, but it also makes me a little sad as well that at some point in time, there's going to be so many jobs that are going to be wiped out because robots and just technology are going to be able to do so many things. It's wild.
Yeah. They'd probably want to replace us with robots if they could program them.
Oh, it's already happening. I'm telling you, the Al Michaels thing is not good news for us at the Olympics. That's not good news.
So the question becomes, will the robot be able to understand hey, just a splash. Go easy on the ice.
I'm sure you could type in light ice, all of that. I'm sure they've got this thing.
My name is Ice. You'd confuse them.
Exactly. Heavy on the ice there. But, yeah, this is popping off at the MLB All-Star Game at the Ranger Stadium next week. It's wild.
This story says, has anyone factory tested the robot's fingers to see how well it performs after opening 1,500 Coors Lights and hard seltzers? After all, there's not a lot to do during the celebrity softball game besides drink. Yeah. I mean, like they say, there's a fine relationship between a man and his alcohol, and I'm not sure where this lands. I can't judge it until I really experience it, but I don't know. I mean, could we see a fan get into a fight with a robot who got his drink wrong, hop over
I don't think that's
going to
work out well for humans.
I mean, the way he's Sir Mix-a-lotting that drink up and putting it right there for you to take. The kids will probably love it, but they're not getting alcohol. They're just getting a regular drink.
But these are going to be all over stadiums, I think, in years to come.
I think what you're fearful of is what some people are, that God forbid this thing breaks down somehow, and then things get a little weird. Like somehow that arm reaches over, or there's some kind of weird vibe going.
An Undertaker choke slam or something like that, because we saw in iRobot, these things are going to get a mind of their own. So I just wanted to shine a light on that, because that's where we're at.
If I'm at Globe Life Field, I'm purposely going to be the human that carries around some tall boy beers rather than waiting in a line to see the robots. So team human or team AI robot? I think we just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, wait and see.
Man, hey, if we were running that show, we didn't have to hire anybody.
It's a cold world.
Buy one of these robots. I know. We get what we ask for. Everybody wants things cheaper. I don't know. Is this going to save the consumer any money? I mean, if it eliminates jobs, I mean, could you say that since we bought this robot, we know the robot's going to show up. We know the robot's going to do the job.
Yeah, I still think drinks are going to be
Robot's not going to be
expensive.
asking for another break.
I don't think owners are going to
I'm on my break.
Yeah, I don't think owners are going to be cutting the fans some slack because they got robots in there now. I don't know.
But if it saves the consumer a few bucks, I'm wondering if that's what wins people over.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, thanks. By the way, thanks for letting me know. I did not know that.
Yeah, saw it yesterday. It's pretty well. CB, you got a winner?
Sure do. It was Johnny in Grove City knew it was the ultimate backup quarterback, Chase Daniel. He was weighing in on that conversation. And real quick, this is not the only opportunity today. There will be one more opportunity later on.
There you go. And did you just dunk on Chase Daniel right there with the ultimate backup?
No. I mean, the guy barely played and made all that money to be a backup. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, he does have pretty good net worth for doing nothing. Hardly anything.
Greg McElroy became a BCS national champ years ago. And I don't think... He had a tiny pro career wasn't he with? No, did he ever go to Cincinnati? I
believe that was AJ McCarron you were thinking of.
No, I'm thinking All right, check that. He probably never played for them. But anyway.
Check his wiki, CB.
That's probably a good idea, yes. When in doubt, go to the Wikipedia page. It's always correct.
It looks like he was either an off-season or practice squad only guy for one season with them.
All right, so
that qualifies.
I'll get some
Spent
points
the first 2 years with the Jets.
Jets. Okay, that's right. So he makes his feelings pretty well known on college football. He released his preseason top 25, and you'll be proud he has Ohio State number 1. The cool part is he has Oregon number 3. So we know what game is coming in Eugene this year.
A banger.
So he's got Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Bama. Bama at 5 is interesting to me. I can't tell you that I would know anybody right now on paper that would be better than them at 5. I've heard a lot about Ole Miss. I don't trust Penn State. We'll see what Mizzou brings to the table. Can Tennessee follow things up? Michigan's on the hangover. We'll see. And the list goes on and on. So I'm not arguing that Bama's 5. But he does have Ohio State at number 1. And that's going to be really interesting because I asked you during the break, just off the cuff, about a half hour ago. I said, what prevents Ohio State from winning it all? Like, what is if you had to prioritize like the top 2 or 3 things on, like if they don't win it all this year, and we circle back in February, like, okay, why didn't this happen? And I gave you the list of quarterback didn't live up to expectations, O-line never developed, defense wasn't up to the hype, injuries, coaching. There was a team that was actually better than them on that given day. Like I'm listing all these things in my brain, and my mind immediately probably jumps to where everybody goes to, and is Will Howard the answer?
For me, number 2 would be the headliner, and that's the offensive line. The offensive line's the key to everything. And I learned my lesson a couple years ago in the Super Bowl. I learned my lesson. And
that was a tandem jump out of the plane, dude. We splatted together on the ground.
We didn't care because we said they got Mahomes, they got Andy Reid, they got Travis Kelce, they're going to find a way. And that game showed me that the trenches absolutely matter. So ever since that has happened, I've been all in on you got to have competent play up front before you get to the quarterback and all the other things. Because if you don't, then those guys can't shine and pop off the way that we think that they can. Because that wide receiver room, there's some unknown to that wide receiver room, right? Like Emeka Egbuka, I know what that is. When he's right, that dude's going to be one of the best wide receivers in the country. But the other 3 guys that we're expecting noise from, we haven't really seen it. Brandon Ennis, Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith's a true freshman. The 2 guys I mentioned before, Jeremiah, are guys that are big-time recruits as well. But are they really ready to handle a big workload? I'm not going to doubt Brian Hartline because he's shown us over years now that those guys are going to be good. But I don't know if that's been talked about enough this offseason, is the slam dunk that it feels like a lot of people are doing with the new batch of wide receivers. History tells us that unit's going to be fine. But to answer your question directly, going back to that, number 1 for me is, what can this offensive line do, especially when we talk about the potential of the running back duo that they have? Because if those guys don't have lanes to run through, then they're going to be running into brick walls, and they're obviously not going to be able to get momentum to get to the second level of a defense.
I feel like I've just kind of ad-libbed a poll here for this summer at some point on what would prevent them not winning it all.
Well, you got too much time left in the summer, big dog. You might want to throw it out.
So much time. So the 6,
plenty of time. No, you don't.
Hurry up. Get it in there. So the ones I wrote down now, in just kind of spitballing this: O-line, quarterback, injuries, coaching. One team was just better on that given day. And the last one was defense, not quite as advertised the way they're being hyped.
If you're going to throw in injuries, that immediately goes to number 1 for me. Because that obviously takes everything out of whack if you got big-time injuries to key players. So injuries, for me, number 1. And then
that's for everybody, yep.
We got some great
probably could take injuries out of there.
Just right. Just to play it, because I think that would be...
That's for anybody.
Craig McElroy's got some sound we can play next.
Yeah.
On a couple of these units that you mentioned. So it'll be interesting to hear, a national perspective from a college football analyst who, like you said, has Ohio State number one in his poll.
And a former quarterback himself who won a championship, and you'll hear what he feels about Will Howard and if he is the answer. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
When that alarm clock goes off, Morning Juice comes on. The perfect way to dominate your day or just lay around the house. Morning Juice.
Weekdays at 6.
The Fan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts is your exclusive in-person advance sale ticket outlet for the 2024 Ohio State Fair. Discount admission tickets are $8 at participating stores. Enjoy food, entertainment, animals, rides, and so much more at the Ohio State Fair, July 24th through August 4th. Get advance sale tickets now through Tuesday, July 23rd. Only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
My name is Dr. Ray Tessner. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Columbus, Ohio. I've been involved with taking care of athletes and aging athletes for over 35 years.
Dr. Ray Tessner knows a thing or two about joint pain, and one thing he's a big believer in right now is regenerative medicine.
The advantage that I see in a regenerative medicine that there's really no downside to it.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting way to deal with joint pain, using natural, concentrated healing agents from your own body to go to work on achy joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue.
It's one of the best management tools that has come around in a long time.
Tired of that pain in your knees, hips, back, and shoulder? Before you go under the knife, get a second opinion from QC Kinetics. You really can get lasting relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
QC Kinetics has become a leader in the regenerative medicine field.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 roof.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hey, I'm Ruben. My band and I have a new song we're getting ready to record this weekend. I'm also a tow truck driver. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I get to go home at the end of the day and see my bandmates.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
The outdoor drama Tecumseh is back this summer. The drama, the history, and the spectacle make Tecumseh one of Ohio's most beloved traditions. Tecumseh has provided thrilling live entertainment for 50 years, and the outdoor theater at Sugarloaf Mountain will provide a safe and memorable experience for your entire family. Get tickets now at tecumsehdrama.com. This message is made possible in part by the Ohio Arts Council. Tecumseh, experience the drama.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot of sunshine out there today with a high of 83. Going 66 for the nighttime low tonight. And then on your Friday, going 90 for the high under sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, little fill in the blank bottom of the hour. Guards are on. Reds are on. Keep an eye on both. Maddie's team already threatening.
I like it.
So, nobody really knows if Will Howard is the answer. But he could be an answer. And it could be everything that they hoped he can be. Leadership, experience, grit, athletic, tough, mature, everything you want to throw out, he might have. Make timely throws, be efficient, all that. And they could be checking a box here that they were kind of half checking with Kyle McCord. I'm sure in McCord's mind it was, I'm becoming a seasoned player. Keep believing in me. Let me see if I can keep ascending. Nope. When you lose to Michigan for a third straight time, whether it's you want to pin it on him, coaching, stuff Michigan was doing, whatever you want to pin it on, he was part of it. And the pressure to rebound and end this streak and parlay it into a national championship is so big that they said, nope, he's not enough. And they went out and got a guy. It's really the simplest way you can say it. Because if they felt that they wanted to keep building with him because he was off to a decent start, had those great moment at Notre Dame, but they saw some ceiling in him, Maddie, that they were afraid to risk with this squad.
No question.
Right. And so Greg McElroy, as we talked about, was talking about Will Howard, and he kind of weighed in. CB, why don't we start with, is your first one just basically on Will Howard? Let's hear his general thoughts on Will.
Let's start at the quarterback spot. I look at Will Howard, and I look at how many people were after him, and then diving a little bit deeper into some of his tape last year, that guy's really good. And while he doesn't possess crazy athleticism where he can run and create and do all these amazing things, that guy's really solid. And when you look at what his role and responsibility is going to be within this offense, it's going to be to make good decisions, be accurate with the football, and then obviously to lean on the run game, which has been bolstered with the addition of Quinshon Judkins to complement a superstar already in Travion Henderson, the best 1-2 punch in the land. And it's going to take some of the pressure off the quarterback.
We always hear from quarterbacks, a great run game makes my life easier. And I think he absolutely will have that. What I find interesting, AR, is that you let some Kansas State fans tell it. They believe that the guy who's going to start games for them this year, in Avery Johnson, is the reason why Will Howard decided to hit the portal. Because Avery Johnson was the 9th-ranked quarterback in the 24/7 2023 rankings. And so that portion of college football, that fan base, while they respected Will Howard and what he did, they felt like the guy that was on deck for them would bring better things to their offense than potentially what Will could. And that's not to say Will coming to Columbus is a bad thing, because I think he is going to be a good quarterback. But that narrative is out there down in Kansas State land when you look at Avery Johnson, big-time recruit for them, his athletic ability, him being a young guy, maybe the ceiling being just a little bit higher. But when you talk about Will Howard and what he is, and you infuse his talents into Ohio State with the rock star talent around him, he can become an even better player. And I think he's going to be one of those quarterbacks that knows what it takes to lead an efficient offense. And as long as he's that guy on Saturdays, Will Howard's going to be just fine.
Yeah, he may not have the real wow throws, but he may be the perfect guy for this offense. Yeah. And with Chip Kelly. And when you go into some of the analytics that people have had more time than I have, they do talk about the impact and where we don't need Will Howard to be an outside the numbers guy all the time, winging that thing all over the place. The middle of the field, very basic concepts. And let's hear what McElroy has to say about that combination between Will Howard and Chip Kelly.
There's one thing I also know, too, is the addition of Chip Kelly at the offensive coordinator spot. Do not lose sight of how important that is. Go watch how UCLA ran the football the last 2 years. All right, UCLA does not have the personnel that Ohio State has, but they're going to be super creative. And they were able to run and gash defenses over and over and over again. And that might very well happen this year. Now, it's hard to run the ball in the Big Ten. That league collectively takes great pride in stopping the run. But if Ohio State can't do it, then nobody can.
Yeah, with Judkins and Henderson, all things are possible. And then you have a running quarterback who has the instincts to want to run and want to go. And so we get to find out. Will Howard had a 1,000-yard rusher every season except one. He may have 2 this year if they want to lean on that. And the other part about this is he doesn't have to be a finished product in game 1, even though he's older and has experience. They could evolve. They could expand this playbook as the year goes on. They could see what's working, where they could exploit mismatches. And then Will Howard is smart enough to be able to do that. Is he good enough to do it? We'll find out.
Yeah, no doubt. And you mentioned the finished product stuff. You're absolutely right. But I think you want him pretty close to that come the trip to Eugene, because that game's going to be such a big deal as far as, yes, we know you got wiggle room with the expanded playoff, but that could be the difference between you getting the bye or not getting the bye. And so you're correct in saying as well the impact that three-headed monster could have with Quinshawn, Travion, and Will Howard. And I think where it can really show itself is down in the red zone. I don't know if we're going to see Will Howard ripping off a bunch of big-time runs, all the way down the field throughout the year. But I do think when they get down there between the 20s and inside the 5 and all of that stuff, defenses have to honor what he is as a threat. And that zone read and all of those things that you can do as an offense, that half a second, that second or two where you can freeze a linebacker or whoever it is could be the difference between Will getting in or somebody else getting the ball and putting it into the paint. So I love the threat that's going to have, that Chip Kelly, Ryan Day, and everybody on the offensive side of the ball will have, because we know that the offense as a whole is going to scare the crap out of defenses based off of the names and the talent that they have on paper. But once they start rolling throughout the year and show you all the different wrinkles that they can do, including the quarterback, that's, I think, really going to take Ohio State to a whole nother level.
I'd give you an over-under on Will Howard longest rush of the year at 50.5 yards.
I'm going to take the 50.5. I'm going to go under on that. I don't feel confident in saying
he would
that,
bet
though.
Against you.
Well, what did we do last year? What are you looking at?
He had a 70, and he had an 80 his first year and a 71 his second year.
So he's done it every year.
Oh, except for 22.
So 3 out of 4 years he's done this.
Yeah. Now, I'll give you now this may surprise you. In last year for Kansas State, he had 81 carries. That's a decent amount.
It is.
350 yards rushing. He was averaging over 4 yards a carry, but he had the long one of 70. He also had 9 touchdown rushes last year. But I like the one about the over-under on longest rush of the year. So depending on where they are in the field, and then if he breaks it, would a defense over-pursue so much that he would just be running wild? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would probably take the over just based on 3 out of 4 years he did not only beat this, but he cracked it. But it was against different opponents, like McElroy said.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And I remember when Will first came and you mentioned those 9 rushing touchdowns, I was looking at some of the stuff. I believe 7 or 8 or maybe all of those came in like first and goal, second and goal, third and goal type of situation. So when they get down there, that dude's going to be a nice piece to have on your play sheet for Chip Kelly and Ryan Day.
Deeper dive for you here. The 70-yarder last year was at Oak State. Trying to see if there are the other. Then he didn't have one in 22. In 21, he had a 71-yarder. It was at Texas.
Okay.
And then in 2020, the 80-yarder was at TCU in a close game.
So a lot of big games for them.
I'm taking the over.
He ripped off a lot of big runs.
So imagine what he might do in a game against a nobody.
That tells us too that he's got some
6'5", 240.
Got some juice in those legs, man. That's that runaway speed. That's good stuff.
We come back with fill in the blank next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Hi, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Need a perfect gift? Check out the new line of Glock watches and other stunning jewelry at Worthington Jewelers. Make every occasion sparkle with Worthington Jewelers, where exceptional gifts await.
Soak up the savings this summer from Family Dollar. It's never been easier. Just download the Family Dollar app, sign up for smart coupons, and see how you can save more than ever before. Enjoy smoking hot deals on cookout classics or get ready for outdoor fun with SPF for the whole family. Plus pool toys, decor, and so much more. Check out the app today and get ready to save with the Family Dollar Summer Savings Event. New offers drop every week. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me, pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet store, America's arch supports experts.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
The Buckeyes are starting fall camp and we're tagging along. The Fan is broadcasting live August 1st through the 4th at Ohio State football practice. Morning juice and Bishop and Friends Thursday and Friday, plus live weekend programming. Let's go.
America's favorite car show returns to Columbus with a jam-packed weekend of cool cars, cool people, and good times. It's the Good Guys 26th Summit Racing National, and it's all happening this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center. Cruise on out with your family and friends and check out over 6,000 of the country's coolest classics on display. And don't miss Good Guys CPP Autocross Racing action, Nitro Thunderfest, a huge swap meet and vendor midway, live music, family fun, and so much more. It's Ohio's biggest hot rod and party of the summer, and it's all going down this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center. Get details at good-guys.com.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
At Pella, we use the newest technology to show you exactly how new windows would look on your home.
Well, we keep it simple at our window place. We use a number 2 pencil to draw what your house will look like with our new windows. See?
Oh yeah, that definitely looks like a number 2.
Thank you, Leslie. Wait, I see what you did there.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
The wait is over. Dell Technologies Black Friday and July deals are live. Check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15, powered by Intel Core processors. The XPS 15 brings you the perfect balance of power and portability, plus stellar visuals and immersive sound. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics, plus free shipping on everything. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Like Yoda, Rothman will limp onto the golf course, talk about how stiff his back is, wonder how he can even make it through a hole, and then proceed to kick your ass. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Maddie, fill in the blank. CB almost set me up for a debilitating injury that would have ended my season.
It was real spooky during the break, folks, because I'm at the microwave zapping my eggs, and I look to my right, and, as you know, it's like mini Dave and Buster's around here. We got the ice hockey, the mini hoops, and CB is shooting hoops. And all I see is a basketball rolling on the floor, and then right around the corner comes AR, and I thought I was going to witness you blow out a knee or an ankle. But that athletic ability from back in the day, all those trips, that back and forth on the tennis court, it just paid off.
A lesser man would have gone down.
I think I need maybe is it Progressive that has the instant replay commercial? Because
they're amazing, by the way.
What's actually funny is in the system, we do have a camera that sits above that area that actually records. So we have it in the system. I don't know if I can access it, but maybe it's out there.
You're throwing a red flag on what just happened.
Wait a minute. You think he's overstating this? That ball, I was blindsided. It came out of nowhere behind a wall, rolling on the floor back to you because you bricked, and then the rebound was on the floor.
I think you're accusing me of seeing it rolling and not doing anything about it.
He just had to
not warning me? But you claim that no, because if you go back and read the transcript, you did say
it looked like it was about to get stuck. There's a little bit of the wall where he gets stuck, but it did not. It popped out.
Yeah, it sounds like we need a replay.
That means he
on
saw it. That would be a great video to get.
I just saw the hop, and the hop was incredible from you.
With some mouthwash in, too. CB could have been in the splash zone.
By the way, you didn't even bring this up the other day when we talked about the amount of times we brushed our teeth. Your mouthwashing during the show? Is this new? I don't think I've seen
lunch.
This. Oh, I didn't know you did that after.
I don't always do that.
Oh, okay.
I just felt like I wanted to.
Breath's a little stanky.
Well, I don't know. I just ate lunch.
Well, I appreciate
your parents are coming in.
I appreciate you keeping the studio fresh for me. I like that.
You're right. That's probably more of a rarity. I just felt like I needed it.
I'm mad at it.
And I'm off the dentist from Tuesday, so I want to kind of keep. I got a kind of a clean slate now.
So we'll do that probably the end of the week.
Right. That'll last 5 days. Exactly. CB with a fill in the blanks music.
Yeah, you can't help but say.
I forgot you did the ominous music. That's really good.
You can't help but say, the way you did when you hear this.
I can't take all the credit. My guy Matty Ice looked through the library with me and pointed it out. This was a good idea, so we went with it.
Teamwork makes the dream.
I like it.
All right, first question for you, because I know football starts in 6 days for some of us. My question is, I will watch blank, and this is a number, blank full preseason NFL games this fall.
Zero. I'm not, because here's the thing. Even in what they call the dress rehearsal, what do we get, AR? A couple quarters? Do we even get that? Like, it's different for everybody, but I don't think I've watched a full preseason game from start to finish ever. So, zero.
I'm going to say.
What could get you to do it? I guess you got to add on to that. What could get you to watch a full game?
Ooh. Have to be some type of parlay or something. But that's just in sicko mode right there if you're cooking up parlays for preseason. But that would do it, CB.
I'm going to say 0.75.
Oh.
And because I will be at Tom Benson Stadium in August watching the Texans and the Bears in the Hall of Fame game because I'll be a captive audience. I'm going.
Right.
But I can't tell you, he said full.
Yeah.
There is zero promise I'm staying for that whole
That's what I was going to say. You're going to look at the homies
I might
and be
say
like, let's go eat.
0.5. In fact, I was thinking about not even going, but it'll be fun. The boys from Sugardale will be there, VIP. So I'll go 0.75.
There we go.
All right, question number 2 for you. I know a couple of days ago, it got a little chilly outside because of the rain and everything that came through. It felt a little bit like fall, so it made me think of this question in terms of the acceptable temperature to wear shorts in. The question is, the coldest temperature acceptable to wear shorts in is blank.
55. It feels right to me. 50s, not windy. I'm not even going to throw sun in there. If you're just going straight air temperature, I think my mind would be okay with 55.
Yeah.
You get a little lower than that, I start getting psychologically beat.
I'm in that ballpark. 50 to 55, I'm good with it because then we can go hoodie and shorts, and you can get by in that. Now, if you're out for a long time, let's say you go to a night game or something and that sun sets, then you may have some regret. But between 50 to 55, we'll throw a hoodie on, a crew neck on, and I think we'll be all right, CB.
All right, question number 3. The team that will challenge Team USA the most in basketball will be blank.
The team they played last night, and it's Team Canada. Team Canada, elite backcourt, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jamal Murray. Dylan Brooks. They got some dudes. But this Team USA squad, they're not messing around. They're not messing around. They didn't have KD last night. They looked really good. LeBron, Steph, KD, Jason Tatum, pretty much all you need right there. They could probably beat everybody with those 4 guys. So I'm going Team Canada, though. Got to put some respect on their name.
It's a tough question. That's why I'm glad you used the word challenge. I was going to say Greece with Giannis. I don't know if that's a bad pick or not, just because of how much he could dominate. But I think I'm going to say France because of Maddie's guy, Rudy Gobert, and
your boy.
And Victor Wembanyama.
This is your guy.
And they've got some overseas experienced guys that we wouldn't know, the guys that have played a lot of basketball. I'm not saying they're winning. I'm just saying they could challenge them. The other part that you're going to love about my pick is that I believe there's no 3-second violation, right, Biba? So Webb and Root, they can just pack down in there and not worry about anything. Though? Oh, yeah. No, I'm not.
We got Joel Embiid.
Yeah, so I'm just saying you pair Wembanyama and Gobert with some experienced overseas guys, and they could challenge them in one game.
All right, question number 4, last segment. We discussed Will Howard and his legs. Let's talk about the throwing ability of whichever quarterback is the starter this season. Question is, Ohio State starting quarterback will throw blank amount of touchdown passes this season.
It's a good one right here.
So in my mind, I'm going to probably try to thread the needle here and split the difference between Stroud at his best and McCord at his best and find somewhere in the middle. Not on the right, not on the left, but right in the middle. So if Stroud was somewhere in the low to mid 40s and McCord was somewhere in the low to mid 20s, I'll say the starting quarterback for Ohio State, presumably Will Howard, will throw 34 touchdown passes.
Ooh, okay. I was going to go with like 30. But I think he's also going to add 5 to 8 rushing touchdowns as well. So potentially could do that. So I'm going to go with, give me an even number of 30.
Okay.
Question number 5. The Jackets leader in points this upcoming season will be blank.
It's a good one, too. See, Johnny's got his boy in the house now. And so he's going to be real comfortable out there. It's an interesting one right here, CB. He's supposed to be that dude. And I'm going to hope now that it's going to show itself. So give me Johnny Hockey. It's time. He's going to do it.
That's the right answer. No question. As far as points go, yeah. If Zach can play all 82, I think he'd have a shot.
I like it.
We'll see what Kirill the Thrill does this year. I'm going to go with Johnny because I just absolutely believe factually it's the right answer. Right prediction.
Question number 6. The one tight end I'm fading in fantasy football in 2024 is blank.
The tight end that we're fading.
You don't buy the hype. You're not taking them where you think they're going to go in your draft.
Where you at, GM?
Tough one.
For me right now, I'll say mine. It's Travis Kelce. He's going around tight end 1, tight end 2. I just don't think you're going to get the playoff version of Travis Kelce week in and week out.
I'll tell you who I'm concerned about. And it's your boy. Not that I don't think he's going to be good, because I'm a believer.
He's just so hyped.
Well, he was cooking with Flacco. And are we going to get that same production with Deshaun? I don't know. If I saw Deshaun and Njoku do it together last year, I'd be in. But I'm going to fade him a little bit. But I'll tell you the other guy I'm going to fade as well, because I think Marvin Harris is going to pop off, and that's Trey McBride. He's been going really high. I've seen in a lot of fantasy drafts, and I think Marvin's going to have a monster year. So I think some of that's going to slip. So I guess I hit you with 2: Trey McBride and David Njoku.
Listen, I'm a little worried about this. Not that Atlanta's not going to be really strong, and I've liked Kyle Pitts for a while. I don't quite know if I could draft him in the top 6 or 7 where I've seen him. So I'll probably go Pitts. I was going to say Hawkinson, just based on the quarterback situation, but I'm wondering if they'll just, because they're so hell-bent on getting the ball to JJ, and we talked about Jordan Addison yesterday, and now you have a brand-new quarterback combination. Yes, you have a veteran with Darnold, but if JJ plays, he might use Hawkinson a lot. So I'm really torn on that.
And he's coming back from an injury.
I'll go Hawkinson or Pitts.
Final question is very open-ended. The best play in baseball is blank.
Best play in baseball. I guess there's a difference between the best play and kind of the most fun play of what I like seeing. Play at the plate is always fun if it times up right. I enjoy a nice, good, long rundown. I feel like we don't get enough of those anymore. I especially like a botched rundown.
Hated practice.
When someone's in the rundown and they actually get out of it somehow, whether it's a bad throw or somebody throws too early and doesn't run him back or runs him back to the wrong base, or a rundown when there are other runners on base. That's the most entertaining to me.
I'll go with I got two more answers for you, CB. You're not going to like this. Triple play and a grand slam. But if you make me pick between the two, I'll go with a triple play because we don't see those as much. Something about a triple play that really gets it done for me. You know what else gets it done for me? It's the Schmitz-Cardell-Jones Celebrity Softball Game because it's on its way. And why picnic when you can Schmitnick? It is presented by Monogram Homes, Saturday, July 20th, 6:30 p.m. at Huntington Park. Current Ohio State football players taking on former Ohio State players as well. Cardell Jones, he's the captain for the former players. Emeka Egbuka is the captain for the current players. Tickets are only $10, and they're available today at BuckeyeCruise.com, and they're available right here on Rothman and Ice because right around 2:30, we're handing out another family 4-pack of tickets to this thing.
All right, we come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Ohio State has made their decision on who will represent them at the Big Ten Football Media Days. We'll tell you who is going. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Mark your calendars for Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend, July 26th and 27th. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Seller. Wedding Weekend is back with unbeatable offers you won't want to miss. Join us for buy one, get one half-off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and special offers on diamond engagement rings. We've had the guaranteed best price and an unmatched selection for over 77 years. Choose a jeweler you can trust and come see us July 26th and 27th at Diamond Seller on Sawmill Road.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let's talk about your sleep, specifically if you're not getting enough of it. If you're feeling groggy all day because you didn't sleep well, that is an awful feeling. I've been there. And if you're snoring when you sleep, well, that could be a big reason why you aren't feeling rested. This fact surprised even me the first time I heard it, and that is as you age, your risk of having obstructive sleep apnea nearly doubles. That's right. You need to find out if your snoring is related to sleep apnea because if it is, there's actually help available for you right now. Dr. Mark Levy is board certified in the treatment of sleep apnea, and he offers a custom-fitted oral appliance that effectively treats sleep apnea. I have been telling you about this for years. And maybe you've been snoring for years. Now's the time to get this fixed. Plus, most Medicare patients have little to no out-of-pocket costs for this treatment. So you need to stop putting it off. Don't ignore your snore. Get your sleep apnea treated by calling Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Get the life back you deserve. Call Dr. Mark Levy today, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
When you have to stop but don't really want to, stop at BP. Because BP has everything you need to keep it going. Fuel to keep the adventures going. The BP Me app to keep the savings and the commutes going. Snacks and drinks to keep the crew going. And the BP Me Rewards Visa to keep the rewards going and going and going. A stop at BP isn't a stop at all. Keep it going.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on train systems, including 0% APR for 60 months.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. And Ohio State has their Big Ten Media Day representatives all set. I know I got the schedule for that yesterday, so it's at Lucas Oil, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So they're going to Indy, and so you've got the head football coach and a trio of student athletes that day. And the Big Ten announced the 54 student athletes that will participate in it. And I'm looking at Ohio State's day of Tuesday, the 23rd. And so they're kind of third in the lineup. And it will be 2 defensive guys and 1 offensive guy. Denzel Burke, corner. Emeka Ibuka, receiver. Jack Sawyer, defensive end.
Pick North, baby. Representing.
Could have gone with a quarterback.
Why didn't they?
That would have been fun.
There's no way they would have done that, right? Because you're so right. Will Howard, we've heard the dude speak. He could absolutely go over there and represent Ohio State. And Devin Brown. Both those guys would be absolutely fine in doing that. But if they would have put Will Howard on this thing.
Let me see how many quarterbacks are going.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. That would have created a big time narrative.
Nah,
and
you can't.
Your Coach Day, you got to avoid that right now.
And I'm not. There's no judgment on that. Like if they truly want to see some stuff this fall and they want to make sure, and you can't anoint him right now. Hudson Card for Purdue is going.
Okay.
Ethan Garbers from UCLA is going.
Real quick,
Miller Moss is going from USC.
I'm very curious who's Michigan sending because they got a quarterback situation. Are they sending Orji?
No.
Okay. Any quarterback?
Yeah, Max Brosmer, guy from Minnesota.
So it's not even Tuttle.
Oh no, not. You said for Michigan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was the last quarterback. Or is it, I think it's Brosmer. I should know this because it's my boy Ox at Little Turtle. It's his nephew.
Oh,
and he
okay.
told me, and I always. Man, I'm going to butcher that again. One day I'll get it right, Ox.
If I had to guess who Michigan is sending, it's going to be Edwards, Will Johnson, and Loveland?
Nope. You got one.
Oh. Which one?
Donovan Edwards.
Oh, okay. So who else are they sending?
They're sending their tight end fullback, Max. Is it Bredesen?
I think his brother played there too.
He did. I recognize that.
And
last
Makari
name.
Page,
Okay.
safety. So, I left one out. Dylan Gabriel's going for Oregon.
That
So
makes
there
sense.
are quarterbacks that are going.
Is Aller going?
No.
Really?
No.
Drew Aller's not going for Penn State.
No.
Interesting.
No, they're sending.
That's weird.
a DN, and a safety, and a tight end. Yep.
Okay.
So there you go.
That's another one of those markers that it's here, AR. Just wrap your arms around it. I mean, 2 weeks away, we're getting Big Ten Media Days. It's gonna be
so much will come out of there.
Well, we'll get some of it. But it's just like, that's just another one of those boxes we check along the way that lets Anthony Rothman know summer's over, big dog. Gear up. So you don't like
that. In fact, summer's over. He can feel the chill in his bones, folks.
Oh, man.
Summer is over.
You know why? I really want summer to be over.
He walks out there this weekend, and it's 92 degrees. Actually, Monday will be 96. So, sorry, summer's not over.
That's ridiculous. Really?
Yeah.
Are you saying that right?
We're going to have a streak of Saturday through Tuesday all in the 90s. And Monday's going to be 96.
That's not even right.
That's what it says here on the phone.
CB mentioned the other day, what day? I don't even remember what day it was. I did get home, and it was about 68. This is what I'm talking about.
It was earlier in the week when the rain came through. It cooled down a lot.
Look, this is what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, I mean, you and I left yesterday. It was a little
it felt good.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, it felt good.
All right. Do we want to play the last clip from McElroy? Do you have that handy? I don't want to blindside you.
No, you're good. You want to do the defense?
Yep. I would love to hear him on this incredible, hyped, and probably going to live up to advertised D.
Defensively, I have no concerns whatsoever. Jim Knowles already showed last year just how much better teams can get from year 1 to year 2. Now they head into year number 3, and they have all the pieces that you could possibly want. And I think they actually have even fortified some of the question marks that they might have had. They have 10 guys that they'll be playing in the rotation that are all upperclassmen. One of those one that is not an upperclassman is Caleb Downs, who pound for pound might be the best football player in America. He was an All-American last year as a true freshman at Alabama. He enters the portal. He ends up at Ohio State. Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau, they'll anchor the edges. Would love to get those guys to impact games the way they can on a weekly basis, and I think that can happen this year. You look at Tyleik Williams, they should be in a really good spot as well. It does just feel like collectively at Ohio State, there's a certain level of accountability that is being had throughout the roster. Guys feeling like, hey, this is our time. It's time to go and do it. It's time to put up or shut up. We are going to do it this time.
Not wrong. Everything's there for it. Yep. If they can be a little more game wrecking up front, let those guys in the back end be the ball hawk guys, and they'll have something. Obviously, avoiding injuries is needless to say. Caleb Downs' effect should be there. Lathan, of course. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, you've got the makings of a massively improved defense and one that's going to take a really, really big step here. Linebackers certainly need to come into their own. But other than that, if they can just win up front the way we think they can, they're going to make life just miserable for a lot of teams.
I would be shocked if we're not talking about a top 10 defensive unit at minimum next year. They've got the goods to be top 5, but I'll give them some wiggle room right now. They got to be top 10, and I think they will be all year long.
That's today's Buckeye Bulletin. All right, Maddie, when we come back, I want to get your take on this. Dating foul or very fair? You'll weigh in on that next. Rothman Knights and the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Meet Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Maryhaven.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. It can happen so quickly that you don't realize it until you face a crisis. Gambling issues often connect to depression, anxiety, or other addictions. Maryhaven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
Driving plays a big part in driving the local economy. It helps us all get where we're going and creates good jobs close to home. At Synovus Energy, Our refineries in Toledo and Lima are a reliable domestic source of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Plus, more than 2,300 employees and contractors work for us here in Ohio. See how we're helping local communities move forward at Synovus.com.
At UDF, our made-from-scratch peach ice cream is back with a bonus. When you buy 3 48-ounce cartons, you can quickly stack an extra 20 cents a gallon in gas savings. UDF peach ice cream, made for you. While supplies last with an opted-in UDrive account.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. You heard the guys talking about this with college football just a second ago. Big Ten Media Days start July 23rd in Indy at Lucas Oil Stadium. Ohio State will be up on day one on Tuesday. The players that'll represent them, Denzel Burke, Emeka Egbuka, and Jack Sawyer. Another thing coming up, the release of the new College Football 25 game from EA Sports. It's in 8 days, the 19th. 8 Ohio State players are in the game's top 100. Caleb Downs is 5th, Quinshon Judkins 9th, Egbuka 19th, Travion Henderson 23, Jack Sawyer 29, Donovan Jackson 46, Denzel Burke 51, Tyleek Williams 54. Day baseball, guards trying to salvage a split in Detroit. Spencer Howard getting roughed up through the first 3. It is a 4-1 lead for the Tigers. Reds and Rockies are scoreless. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus at BMI when you open a free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, final hour of the program. We have a Gold Jacket Thursday coming up at 2:33, and it is one John Riggins, Riggo, a.k.a. The Diesel. That's right, number 44. Maybe the most underrated running back in history of the NFL. Riggo will jump on at 2:33 from Canton. He's at the residency program. And no doubt I will affectionately and respectfully refer to him as The Diesel. That's right. So he'll get his proper respects at 2:33.
Train kind of scares me, man.
Hey, it's coming down the tracks, baby. 44 is coming.
Man.
Rock chalk.
That's and a great
Rock
Kansas,
chalk, baby.
as Timmy knows.
Look at you guys.
He really is.
A couple Jayhawks in here just glowing.
I'll give him a rock chalk
coming
too.
on.
It's amazing. Honestly, I said this in the beginning of the program, and I know it's dating myself and all that, and you know he was just such a star. But when I think about running backs in the NFL. And he's a Hall of Famer, so it's counterintuitive to say he's underrated. He made the Hall of Fame. How can he be underrated if he made the Hall of Fame? I guess my point is he just doesn't get talked about the way some of the folklorish running backs of the past do. Larry Zonka and others, and maybe even Who else would I think about? Earl Campbell, Bo Jackson, like the big bruising running backs. He just doesn't get enough. And he was as good for as long of a time, which is amazing. And he got drafted by the Jets, so he's with a team with Joe Namath, and he wasn't going to get what he wanted out of the NFL, probably playing with Joe Namath, who wanted to throw the ball all over the place. So he goes and says to Joe Gibbs, "Hey man, let's build this around me." He had that great line when he came back after he sat out for the contractual stuff, and I think when he came back to camp, Maddie, he goes, "I'm bored, I'm broke, and I'm back."
Yeah, I need
it was
some
one
money.
of the great lines.
I love that honesty right there too. Like I'm broke. Like I need to cash some checks. Like let's get it going.
So when I retire and leave the radio station, maybe I'll call you in a couple years and say, "Maddie, I'm bored, I'm broke, and I'd like to be back."
Are
and
you
you'll
kidding me?
You'll say it's over.
With the money that you racked up in your career, the Emmys that you've won, there's no such thing as broke.
The
It's
Emmys,
a bottomless
the Emmys
pit.
have all been melted down. We need
Valerian steel.
We needed the gold.
What are we doing?
We had to sell them. All right, so we got Riggo coming up
that's cool.
at 2:33. I wanted to run this by you because I think you had a pretty good take on this, and I was actually surprised at. I thought you'd think like, hey, you gotta stick this out. You can't be that guy. There was a story floating around that a guy went on a date, and it was Hinge. I don't know what. Is that a site?
It's
that
a
an
dating
app?
app. Yeah, it's
All
a
right.
dating app.
So
you don't have to act like you don't know. We know you're on.
Don't act like you don't know. You're probably on it right now.
Oh, man.
Are they all? By the way, are all the dating apps the swipe? Is that the whole thing?
I
Or
honestly don't
They
know.
pretty much are. I do know Hinge is labeled as like the one that's meant to be deleted, or that's how they advertise themselves. So it's supposed to be the higher echelon type, like really, really thought of well.
CB's got some interesting details on
See?
it. Okay.
He's our expert.
Snitching
Well,
on yourself.
my best friend met his future wife
Love to
on
hear
that
it.
site.
Love to hear it.
Very nice.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
Sorry, didn't have it turned up.
My mom loves when you play that. You might have to play that when she gets in here.
Oh, look, Maddie's parents are here.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
All right. So, is he wrong?
Yeah, what we got?
This guy went viral for dining and dashing on his Hinge date after she brings a friend to the date and they order surf and turf.
He's absolutely in the right to do that. He's absolutely in the right. Because I've heard this before. I have heard that, there will be that women that bring their friend, but have the friend sit on like the other side of the restaurant for safety purposes. I'm all in on that.
At a restaurant?
I'm all in on that.
What's
Or just
going to happen?
at the bar. You never know. There's some crazy people in the world. You meet these people online. They're lying about who they are. They could be completely crazy.
Right.
So I'm all in on that. What I'm not okay with, though, is her sitting down and ordering food. I would have left before we even ordered food. Because I would be like, what are we even doing here? This is supposed to be me and you figuring each other out. But you're bringing one of the homies? And they're getting it's not even the meal. It's not even the surf and turf. It's the audacity to bring somebody else to the date and think that I'm going to court them too. It's a problem.
I don't know where to go with this other than the obvious. I think if he saw what he liked and enjoyed his time, he would have done the obvious to me, which not only treat her, but treat her friend. And that would have gotten him so many points. And then eventually he was going to get that one-on-one date. I think what happened here is that not only did she bring a friend that he probably didn't care about either, and then they ordered the most expensive thing on the menu, and then he says, I've got to go to the bathroom or make a phone call, and he never comes back.
I like his style.
All right.
That's
all I needed to know.
I like how he gets down.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether they had drinks beforehand, and eventually he started in his mind going cha-ching, cha-ching, like what is
CB's cash register.
Exactly.
Popping off in the back.
And you can't be that way on a first date anyway. I've always told my friends this, because some of my friends come back and say, oh, I can't believe it was so expensive. And I'm like, I go, first of all, stop adding the total together. Were you there? Yeah. Did you eat? Yeah. Then half of it was for you. So don't tell me you went out and spent $150
I'm not mad at
because half of it was yours. So tell me what.
I like that, actually.
All right.
I like that. I need your advice on this because my friends and I have gotten into a heated debate with one of my friends because he is in the mindset of that he thinks it's okay on the first date to use a gift card at said establishment. And to me, that's dicey. Like, I don't know if you want to set the tone.
It's not a good look.
Okay, that's where I'm at.
I will say this, and I've taught you guys this before, and I'm sad you didn't commit it to memory. What you have to do at that point is you have to make sure you're at an establishment that's nice enough that they're bringing you the bill in the little folder. That's the key. If you're at a casual place and you're using a gift card, you're toast because they'll see it. But if you can then take that book and put in the gift card, and if the gift card's not enough to cover it, even better, because then you put your credit card in with it over the gift card, because then the spillover is going to get charged with the credit card. She comes back with the bill. You put your credit card back in your wallet, and you have to sign it.
This is true. However, because
that's the key.
One of my friends brought that up, and I'm in on that. You just have to hope and pray that the waiter or waitress does not say the following words.
I know.
You have blank left on your gift card.
Absolutely.
Because then you're cooked.
Absolutely.
So you just got to hope and pray.
Or they got to be in on it somehow.
You slip them $100 bill.
No, because that'll destroy your profit margin. You don't want to do that.
I don't know.
But the whole reason of using the gift card is to save money. So we don't want to be greasing the maitre d'.
I just told one of the fellas, I was like, I don't even know if you play the game on the first date. Any other date, then I think you're good.
No, there's no reason to. Really.
I agree. I agree.
Unless you feel like you already know going in, it's not a blind date. You're just kind of doing it because you felt like you made the commitment.
Yeah.
You're going to go through with it. You don't want to cancel, but you know it's a mismatch, and you're going and like, okay, use the gift card. And then, who knows, maybe you have a funny story down the line. I don't. But if you're going into something that you think is going to matter, you're a little anxious about it, kind of know what you're dealing with here, you gotta just play it straight one time. It shouldn't be that difficult to ask.
Imagine if you do pull off the, like, what do you even, like, I would be like, just take me from earth right now if the waiter says you got $50 left on your gift card. I'm embarrassed.
At that point,
I'd be so embarrassed.
Here's the other thing. You did use it on that person. You could have used it on somebody else. Could have used it on a friend or a family member. You did decide burn the gift card on this person.
But the other side of that is someone with the mentality of, dang, that's all I'm worth? Can't even use your own money? Some of those people are out there, too.
From the get-go, you were on this. It's not a great strategy.
I'm with you.
But I think there is a way to do it without getting caught, which is what I said. It can't be at name said casual restaurant.
Yeah,
it can't be that because they're going to see it unless you do the sleight of hand with the credit card over the top. But then to your point, we have to, but here's the key to prevent what you were just saying is my theory. Make sure you spend over the gift card.
Correct.
There's no way you can use it and come under. Like, that would be, you want to talk about the double whammy. I'm saying, not only am I going to use a gift card on this person, I'm not going to even use it all.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. These
you
are
want an extra dessert? No, I'm kind of full. You'll have it.
Yeah, you're getting this lava chocolate.
Take it to go.
Yeah, exactly. That absolutely is happening. But these are the important conversations you got to have in life. And we have asked a couple of our friends that are females about this, and it's been split. Like, one of them didn't care. The other one was like, that would be the last time he and I interact.
It's a cheap characteristic. It has something to the point of that you thought you could not spend your own money, even though the gift card does belong to you. It's actually a really good case study. I'm sure that there have been first dates where this has happened, and those people have gone on to get married, and they've said, well, yeah, he used a gift card, but we felt like we're a match, and it was a funny story, and I've never let him or her hear the end of it, right? Like, it could be
that's what I'm saying. Just based off of the personality of the other person. Have you ever blown doors on a first date?
No. That seems, honestly, we probably missed the mark on this story. That is about, although you said it matched the disrespectfulness of them bringing a sidekick and ordering.
And eating. That's where you lose me. That's where.
I wonder what would make someone bring a friend without telling that person.
I'm telling you, I think it's safety. I think that has to be high up on the board.
You're at a public restaurant. You drove a different car there.
I'm just saying.
What's going to happen at the restaurant?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Man, I don't know how that. I mean, there are some probably chronic daters out there that would be able to tell us that, hey, there are some weird people out there, and you just got to be careful. I have heard of this one though.
Yeah.
I've actually, this years ago, a girl that I went out with in Chicago did have the old out plan. They have that girl, they have that friend of theirs that they can text or somehow say, hey, call me at, actually, there's not even a text. It'd be like, you go on a date at 7 o'clock and they're like, okay, call me at 8:15 or 8 o'clock or even earlier. And we'll have some code words on if I need you to say you have an emergency. And they have an out plan. And I did go out with somebody that said that it was good. It was fine enough that they didn't have to use the out plan.
Okay. There you go.
So that's a little better than a dine and dash when you think they're coming back.
I agree.
And you just leave them there. What happened? It's an awesome story. Anyway, I guess that dude's gone viral. I don't know if he's being cheered or condemned. Who knows? We have more prizes to give out this hour?
Yes, sir. One more pair of family.
All right. When do we want to do that?
We'll do it at the end of Pre-Snap Reads. The end of the next segment. We'll do it there.
Okay, so roughly 2:27.
Yeah, I like it.
Speaking of pre-snap reads, Aaron Rodgers is still up to his old tricks.
Oh, no.
And he's probably putting a friend of his in a pretty tough spot. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
News, opinions, and insight all before breakfast. Rise and shine with Morning Juice.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444-ROOF.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, what's up, Buckeye Nation? It's Cardale Jones. Join me Saturday, July 20th at Huntington Park for the Smith's Cardale Jones charity softball game presented by Monogram Homes and the U.S. Air Force. Come check out former Buckeye greats take on this year's current Buckeye stars such as Emeka Ibuka, Jaden Ballard, and many more. Come see and meet the Buckeyes before they hit the field this fall. Gates open at 5 p.m. Contests and prizes all night long. Home run derby at 6:30 and the game to follow. Tickets available at BuckeyeCruise.com. Why pick Nick when you can Smith Nick? Get your $10 tickets now at BuckeyeCruise.com.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
You know what's better than an Ohio Lottery scratch-off ticket? A winning Ohio Lottery scratch-off ticket. And now with the new $1,000 tax-free scratch-off, you've never had a better chance to win $1,000. Seriously, this $20 game has 18,000 $1,000 winners. That's a lot of winners. And that's $1,000 after taxes. So, what are you waiting for? The $1,000 tax-free scratch-off from the Ohio Lottery. Your best chance ever at winning $1,000. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Great coaching can make all the difference.
especially when it comes to your money. At Right Pac Credit Union, our financial coaches are on your team. We'll help you create a winning game plan that's customized for your unique needs, so you can make the most of your hard-earned money and live the life you want to live. Best of all, Right Pac Credit Union serves all of Central Ohio, so getting in the game is easy. Let's win together. Stop by one of our Central Ohio member centers to get started today. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot of sunshine out there today as high pressure sits right on top of us. Going 83 for the high today. Mid-60s overnight tonight. Another sunny day on your Friday with a high close to 90. There could be a 20% chance of rain Friday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with a look at your 10 PB weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, Maddie, Bet365 time.
Yes, sir, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary, and you can see for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5.
All right, so I got the night off last night because Bryce Harper wound up not playing. I don't know.
Probably a little.
He hurt his
taking
wrist.
it easy.
No, he actually
coming back.
No, he
first game back.
He dove for a ball or something.
The dude's relentless
and hurt his wrist. I assume he's playing again, but I think I'm going to just go with. Well, I don't know if he's already. Probably it's a night game, so we're good. I was going to go with our boy Skeens. He's pitching tonight. Oh no, it just started. Too late.
Can't get him.
All right, so I can't get him. Well, you could bet it live actually. But I'm going to go. Should I go back? See, I don't know if Harper's playing. I'd like to try to get him tonight.
I'm going with Aaron Judge. While you cook that up, I'm going with Aaron Judge, probably the AL MVP. I like his juice on an anytime home run.
Okay.
Plus 190. That's really jumping out to me. They're taking on the Rays. You know that dude's just an absolute monster. So give me Mr. All-Rise Aaron Judge for an anytime dinger.
How
tonight.
did J-Ram do for you there in that high-scoring game?
He had a really good game, but he didn't hit the home run. I think they intentionally walked him 3 times, and he still did a whole bunch of damage. So no home run for J-Ram, but I'm going to roll with number 99 tonight.
I like the whole home run thing. You know I try to stay away from. But since you're doing it, I will do it with you, and I will take my boy Logan O'Hoppe for the Angels.
Okay.
He's 4-1 to hit one.
I like it.
And he's been pretty hot lately.
I like it. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Aaron Rodgers, I understand why he wants Devontae Adams. I don't understand why he keeps saying it publicly. He becomes more and more entrenched with the Raiders. It's very financially difficult to trade for him. His contract isn't up until 2025. And it seems interesting to me. I understand why he does. He wants him. He's got a last ride here, right?
It's his boy, yeah.
Get his guy. And when you start thinking of it, some Jet fans might be so desperate that, like, I don't care what happens after this. Let's do it. So I was looking at, and by the way, they could have done it in the draft. The draft would have been the time to do it. Dangle that number 10 pick out there or whatever. See if the Raiders bite. And that's probably what should have happened, because if you pair that pick and the Raiders' own choice at 13, then you get him in the range to take a top quarterback prospect in the top, of that area. What did they want? I can't even remember.
They took Brock Bowers in the first round. But to your point, if you flip Devontae Adams, maybe you go with another one of those receivers that were on the board and reset yourself there. So CB set this up for us. Was this at a camp?
Yeah, I really don't know where it was.
Okay.
It looks like it might have been like a pro-am out in the Vegas area, but he was out there, and a reporter kind of walked up onto the green after he finished a hole, and the question wasn't directly about Devontae Adams. It was about his now new OC, Luke Getsy, and you can hear it here.
What's up? Do you think Luke Getsy's going to utilize Devontae Adams good in the new Raiders offense?
I love Luke Getsy. He's a fantastic coach.
Awesome.
And I love Devontae. I can't wait to play with him again.
Great.
He has to be messing with everybody.
Let me ask
He
you a
has
question.
to be messing
Did
with
the
everybody.
reporter, Maddie, ask about Getsy knowing, I guess no, they're in Vegas. It was a logical question.
And here's what I don't know off the top of my head. Does Getsy and Aaron Rodgers, do they have any type of history? I don't think they do off the top of my head, but maybe that's why he would ask Aaron Rodgers about that. But the fact that Aaron Rodgers just went down that road just out of nowhere and brought up Devontae leads me to believe that he knows that I can mess with everybody by saying that. Because I don't think they're going to play together again. We had Shefty on yesterday, and he talked about how difficult it would be to get him over there. And if you're the Raiders, I don't even know why you would do that right now. Do they have any type of history?
Here's your answer real quick. He's got he was the QB coach for the Packers from 2019 to 2021.
So that's why you asked.
Plenty of
Rodgers
time
about
with
that.
him.
That makes sense.
So we'd have nothing but praise for him.
Yeah.
But unsolicited,
he brought up Devontae.
The reporter, I guess, brought up Devontae, right? About him.
No, he just brought up Getsy.
He never mentioned the word Devontae?
No, it was only about Luke Getsy. Well, it was about Luke Getsy working with his buddy Devontae Adams. So, he did mention it.
He did actually mention it. It just, but then the unsolicited part was, well, he didn't ask you what Devontae Adams was going to be. That's a very fun Aaron Rodgers thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I can't wait to play with him. And then even threw in again. Not like play golf with him.
No.
Now that I'm out here.
Play with him on Sunday.
Because that's what the reporter. You mean golf? Can't wait to play with him?
Some of these athletes, they know the power of their voice. Yeah. And they know that they can create headlines. And Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys. He's not afraid to create headlines at any given moment. He loves the spotlight, and he's having fun. I think he's going to be locked in with the dudes that he has in New York. And Garrett Wilson, you guys know I'm super high on what he's going to be this year. I think he is his new Devontae Adams, and he's going to get him the rock a bunch of times this year, and those dudes are going to ball out.
You know how we were, everyone was debating, is it Tom Brady, is it Bill Belichick, and what they were together and what they were apart and all of that. It feels like we have a weird, like in my own mind, a weird rivalry now that they're both out of the game and that who will be the better analyst. Because Belichick is joining inside the NFL on the C-Dub for the entire season.
Okay.
And so he's not doing just these one-off deals at the draft. So he's going to join Ryan Clark and Chris Long and Ocho all on that weekly C-Dub show.
Interesting.
And I don't even know. CB, I'm going to send you this because I'm trying to imagine how Belichick would promote a show.
Oh, I'm sure it's a ton of energy behind him promoting anything.
I just sent, listen how we do this live on the radio. I see something, I send it to him across the glass. He's going to get it now and send it off.
It's the beauty of technology. 2024.
So he's an 8-time Super Bowl champ, and he's joining inside the NFL this season, along with the guys I mentioned. And it comes back August 30th when summer is officially over.
No.
And
long before that.
I guess they use Belichick to promote it. I haven't heard this, so I don't think there's a dump button that is necessary, but be ready.
It's almost time for season 2 of Inside the NFL on the CW. I'm back as the host.
Ryan Clark has been huge all season long.
And we've got Chris.
We got him for 60. Minutes, man. Lock the gates. Let's go.
And of course, Ocho Cinco.
Well, you gonna kiss the baby today.
But still, there's room for one more. Who could they be thinking of?
He's holding up a hoodie.
Two-tone. Enough with the voiceover. Just tell him when the show's on.
I love my suit. But I got you, Coach.
That's it.
Demanding Bill Belichick. The man hasn't changed. He's always going to be a coach.
Really plucked as much personality out of that as they could for the promo.
That's all he's got.
All right. Those are your pre-snappers for today.
We got to give away right now.
Who will be the better analyst?
On that?
No, just Belichick or Brady.
I think Brady's going to bring more personality, so to me, he's going to be the better.
See, the difference is it's hard to compare. One's in-game, one's in studio.
Yeah.
Right? One's doing it live, and I think Brady will be perfect for that, and Belichick will be perfect for the film study.
Completely agree. We're going to give away a family 4-pack of tickets right now to the Cardale Jones charity softball game on Saturday, July 20th at Huntington Park. 614-821-9710 is CB's phone number. Earlier in Fill in the Blank, unless you got something. What are you cooking up?
Go for it.
Earlier in Fill in the Blank, CB asked us about fantasy tight ends. Name one of the tight ends that AR and I think may take a little dip in production. You get that right, you'll get a family 4-pack of tickets. 614-821-9710 is our number.
Rigo next. Gold Jacket Thursday. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend is back. Shop buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and special offers on diamond engagement rings. Visit us at Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend, Friday, July 26th and Saturday, July 27th on Sawmill Road.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee? Arthritic pain like I was having in my knee? Maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gahanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
Attention aspiring media stars. Are you ready to take your talent to the next level? Register for your chance to win the Be On Air Summer Slam contest. This is your chance to showcase your skills in a thrilling 30-second live script challenge. Visit now at studiocontest.com to secure your spot and compete for amazing prizes, including a 4-hour studio session, Shure MV7 microphone, and Audio-Technica M20X headphones. Don't miss out on this dynamic event. Be On Air Summer Slam contest, where talent meets opportunity. Visit studiocontest.com and sign up today.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Remember how that little girl in Poltergeist was in the TV? Yeah? Well, she's actually dead now. It's quite sad. Anyway, watch your favorite fan shows on your TV by subscribing to us on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan. Do it now.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
America's favorite car show returns to Ohio for the biggest hot rodding event of the year. It's the Good Guys 26th Summit Racing National, and it's all taking place this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center in Columbus. Check out thousands of chrome and candied hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Shop the huge swap meet at Vendor Midway and see which rides take home the crown of the Good Guys 2024 Classic Instrument Street Rod and PPG Street Machine of the Year. It's all happening this weekend at the Ohio Expo Center, and you don't want to miss it. Get complete details at good-guys.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Gold Jacket Thursday.
Sponsored by the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Plan your perfect summer trip at columbuszoo.org.
All right, welcome back to a Gold Jacket Thursday here on Rothman and Ice. And I got to tell you, grew up in this era, and if you needed a yard, if you needed a catch, if you needed a touchdown when it mattered most, this man is at the top of any list in the history of pro football. Super Bowl 17, ran through a Miami Dolphin like a bug on his windshield on his way to a Super Bowl game-winning 43-yard romp. He's the 6th overall pick in 71 out of the University of Kansas, so Rock Chalk Jayhawk, Hall of Fame class of 92, the man known as the Diesel, John Riggins. Riggo in the house. Welcome back to football heaven in Canton, my man.
Well, thank you very much. Actually, I have to make a small correction there. If you saw me now, you'd call me the Weasel. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm going, I played football? You got to be kidding me. What was I thinking?
Hey, man, you did what it took when you had to do it. So if you're a normal, mortal human being now, that's okay. You've earned it. So you live the dream, you know, and my introduction is absolutely dead on. 4th down in a Super Bowl, breaking a tackle for a game-winning touchdown. I don't know, maybe you dreamt it as a kid and then you lived it. Give me a little thought about that when you were a kid and what you aspired to be and then what it turned out to be may have even been beyond your wildest dreams. I don't know.
Okay, you can go get a cup of coffee now because this will take a while. No, when I first came into the league in 1971, I didn't even know if I was going to last, even though I was a first-round draft pick. I don't know, there's been plenty of guys. I didn't have the most confidence, I guess is what I'm telling you. But I did have this one. The one thing I wanted to do was play in the Super Bowl. That's all. Didn't matter how the outcome. Just wanted to get to play in that game. And so when we beat the Cowboys there at RFK, you know, you can imagine Washington beating Dallas at RFK in the championship game on your way to Pasadena. That game right there is right up there with the next game, which obviously was in Pasadena in the Super Bowl. So the thing here is that, you know, the game had been going was actually we were trailing obviously at that point in time, but the defense had been doing a good job, gave up a touchdown on a kickoff return, but the offense was moving the ball, but we just wasn't putting any points on the board. So you come up with a situation where it's, you know, 4th and 1. I think the ball was on Miami's 43-yard line. And then I tell people this, it all gets down to trust. And, you know, Joe Gibbs trusted his defense because they've been playing so well that day to hold the Dolphins because he had a decision to make. Does he go for it? Does he punt the ball, try to get it down, you know, play field position at that point? I think there was about 10 minutes left in the game. But he decided to go for it because he also trusted his offensive lineman. And obviously he must have trusted me too. So we're sitting there, we go in the huddle. And I think Donnie Warren was out because I think he was injured, and they brought Clint Didier in to replace Donnie. And we're in the huddle, and of course the announcer's in, and the replacement, he's announcing it, and then coming into the game now, and I'm trying to think Clint's number, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they go Clint Didier, and his name is Didier, but you know, I guess he's giving it the French pronunciation. And Didier is looking all around the stadium like, all right, this is my moment. And Graham goes, damn it, Didier, get your ass in the huddle here. So, that kind of started everything. Well, right before we run the play, Bill Arnsparger, who was the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, he calls a timeout. And it's one of those deals because, like I tell people, I'm pretty sure, and he told me later, he goes, well, that was a great idea. This is years ago. He and I got to talking about it. But, for me, it was one of those moments where, it was just a little bit longer because I guarantee you anybody who's watching that game knew exactly what was getting ready to happen. I was going to get the football. The Dolphins knew it. We knew it. How many millions of fans who were watching knew it. The only question was, am I going right or am I going left? Now, I didn't learn this till about 10 years ago. Clint told me, and if you ever watch that play again, which you probably will, around Super Bowl time, Clint Didier goes in motion. It was fake something. I never knew much about what the, the formations and all. Didn't really affect what I had to do, so it was just more garbage for me to have to put in to my head, and I already had plenty there. But anyway, so if you watch the next time you see that, you'll see he goes across, and he really gives a great fake. And Don McNeil, who was following across, slips. And that little bit of slippage, that's where, the detail, they say, genius is in the detail. He slips just enough. And I tell people this, that if I didn't score a touchdown, then they should have fired me as soon as I got to the sideline. Because it was me, and, Don McNeil gets just a glancing piece of me. And, then it was just, and I only had to run 40 yards, so, it was pretty much all downhill. But as it turns out, it was certainly a pivotal point in that game, and I'm very glad that I was able to make that play.
Yeah, that's an awesome story right there, John. I want to, go back just a few years prior to the Super Bowl because I think one of the cool awards that the NFL hands out is the Comeback Player of the Year award. And in 1978, you brought home that award. Take us through that journey, what it was like to get to that point and inside that season and why you had so much success.
Well, it's interesting because when I first, I was a free agent from the New York Jets in 1976. There was what was called the Rozelle rule that was in the contract where I played out my options with my option with the Jets because I was somewhat dissatisfied with my salary. Of course, I took a 10% pay cut that year in 1975. And so there, I played out the option. I went around 5 different teams, and kind of like being a high school recruit to go play college. Settled in Washington. But what I noticed to me is, the coach there was a defensive coach, and it was in his pecking order was defense, special teams. I think Little Sisters of the Poor, American Red Cross, and then the offense. That was his list of priorities. So my first 2 years down there, and I just gained 1,000 yards with the Jets, I was turned into a blocking back. So I got to tell you, about that point in my career, I was thinking there must be something else for me to do. But as I told some high school kids this morning, but I also realized the importance of doing your job, and I did my job. I blocked and did everything I was asked, and I gained a lot of respect from my teammates because I think they knew that I had the horsepower, but it wasn't working out in this particular offense we had. So we were playing in '77, and I was injured down in Dallas, and so I had to set out. I think I missed about the rest of the season basically. And it wasn't a severe knee injury, and I guess, in all honesty, there wasn't anybody they could think of to give it to, so they gave it to me. But it was a long way back because they had a coaching change from 77 to 78, and the coach that became the offensive coordinator, I think he kind of understood my talent and gave me a bigger role, and that's kind of how that came about.
14 seasons, 175 games. John Riggins, Hall of Fame running back here with us on a Gold Jacket Thursday on Rothman and Ice. That 82 playoff run, 136 carries in 4 games. Can anybody win that way today? I mean, would you have not liked to play today in the kind of this air raid era? I mean, how would that have played out? Does anybody even want to play that kind of power football unless you have a Derrick Henry or somebody that you can hand it to like they did you 30-plus times a game? Give me a little take on the era difference.
Well, you bring up great points there. And literally in the airport last night, my wife and I were talking about this. And because obviously, I played for the fans. I mean, and I got to tell you this, as much as I love football, if I could have sang, I'd have been a rock star. Just because you get to be in front of more fans, there's more gigs, and the other part of it, they think if you're really good, it pays pretty well too. But I wasn't, so the whole thing about. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Where was I going with that? We were talking
about the era, the difference in the era, and whether.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we were talking at the airport, and I was thinking, well, I don't know. I guess I could be a tight end. But you're right, being a running back. I mean, they're a dime a dozen. Like I was telling somebody this morning. I mean, you go down the pool hall on Sunday morning, get a couple, and go to the game, and you're good to go. But then my wife said quarterback, and I thought, because in high school I was a quarterback, and I didn't push it because I actually wanted to be a running back. But I guess if I was left to my own devices now, I think I would have taken that job a little bit more seriously. But yeah, I agree with you. There is no running game anymore, and I've talked to several people since I've been here in Canton, and I think the league has changed that for several reasons. One is throwing the football is more exciting, creates more entertainment for the fans. It also cuts down on injuries because everybody's running parallel instead of perpendicular. They're not running at each other. They're running, like I said, side by side when you play that kind of game. And we were just, I was just talking to one of the gentlemen here at the Hall of Fame about drive blocking. Nobody knows how to drive block anymore. It's just a matter of, it's almost like basketball. You stand up and screen your man off. So it's a completely different game. And I don't, like I said, I don't think I'd be kind of useless as a running back nowadays because they're not needed. So I'd have to come back as a quarterback.
Yeah, interesting. All right, well, I know we only have about 60 seconds here, but I want to get, how did it affect you emotionally? You were the one that did the flea flicker handoff back to Theismann, correct, with the injury? How did that affect you emotionally that time? I know, I don't even know if you saw it. You probably just heard it, and then Lawrence waving medical staff over. What do you remember from how that affected you, the team, the whole deal?
Well, next man up, and the show must go on. But I remember when I was a sophomore in college. I remember I was an up back on the punt team. Ran down, covered the punt, came back, and I noticed the safety on the guy that protects the punter. He was down on the ground, writhing on the ground, and I went up there, and basically he had what would turn out to be the same injury as Theismann. So I went up there and I looked, and I saw how his shin went down, and then it almost was like before it got to his ankle, there was a right turn. There was a right angle there. And after that, I figured, because you kind of lose your zeal for the game when you see stuff like that. Yeah. And at that point, I realized, well, I'm not going over and look at fallen teammates. I'm just going to go over to the bench for well, in this case, well, actually, I think it was fourth down, or it was third down, and I think that, that they had to punt the football. Sure. But, yeah, I didn't get too involved. And it felt bad for Joe, but like I said, the show goes on. Yeah, no doubt about it. You gave a lot of yourself to this game. You earned the ultimate honor of being a Hall of Famer. Fans, you can go up and see him Saturday. He'll be you won't miss him. He'll be the guy in the gold jacket, despite the Weasel comment. 10 to 10:30, a Hall of Famer at the Hall, in the Hall of Fame Theater on Saturday. Then maybe some running back drills, 11 to noon in the Gold Jacket Lounge. I got to tell you, aim high and shoot straight. Hell of a speech, Riggo. I always remembered the quote, and I'm glad you're doing well, and it's great to have you back in Ohio. Enjoy it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for having me on.
You got it. John Riggins, one of the great running backs of all time and really one of the great football players of all time. All right, we come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you're listening to this and you're not already keeping it easy in your backyard with a Bud Light, well, consider this message a gentle reminder. Your backyard is waiting, and so is that Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. For years, like me, you've heard their name on the radio, you've seen their ads on TV, you've seen their trucks driving around in your neighborhood, or you've been greeted with a smiling face at a local community event. Newman Roofing, That's right. They've built their reputation on honesty and professionalism within the Central Ohio community. As a company, Newman Roofing believes in giving back to the community who has supported them over the last 32 years. It's essential to developing those long-lasting relationships with their families. Tim is a small-town guy with small-town values, and when I met and talked with him and his team, you could tell how much they love the community they serve. And you can hear those stories and hundreds of 5-star reviews to how many people trust Newman Roofing with their project and how they meet their expectations. So when it comes to your roofing needs, call Newman Roofing to receive unparalleled customer experience. So give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com. That's newmanroofing.com.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, it's Chops, and thanks to Awaken 180, I dropped my first 60 pounds in only 13 weeks. That's the same length as summer. Enjoy the summer months while creating the new you. Reserve your at-home consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, loyal listener. Make sure to spend your summer with the Fan. Are you going on a road trip? Don't suffer through the bad playlists and hillbilly radio stations. Download the Fan app and take us with you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hi, it's me, Little Bob from Bob's Discount Furniture. I know, you don't know me yet, but I'm here to let you know that I'm opening up a brand new store in your area, located at Taylor Square in Reynoldsburg, bringing even more of my everyday low prices to the people of Ohio. And if you can't wait, mybobs.com is the quickest and easiest way to get unbeatable furniture prices delivered straight to your home today. That's my brand new Bob's Discount Furniture, coming to Reynoldsburg this summer.
Get Bob's Discount!
This summer, MLS All-Star is coming to Columbus. Marshmallow and Pink Pantheress are ready to bring the noise for the 2024 MLS All-Star Concert, presented by Target. Sunday, July 21st at Nationwide Arena. Tickets start at $35 and will benefit Neighborhood Athletics, a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing athletic and educational opportunities to youth and underserved communities. Get your tickets now for the 2024 MLS All-Star Concert on Ticketmaster.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unnatural liability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, better-known company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor-quality security officers and the endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit eventriskinc.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, CB, take us home.
All right, let's start off with the second winner of the Cardinal-Jones softball game, family 4-pack of tickets. The winner was Trevor in Prospect. He knew Kyle Pitts was on AR's lineup.
There you go. Shout out to you. Good stuff right there. What you got, CB?
All right, first question. It is July 11th, better known as 7-Eleven Day, meaning it is National Slurpee Day if you go to a 7-Eleven wherever you are. My question to you is, I'll tell the truth, what is the best flavor of Slurpee out there?
Man, when I was a kid, AR, it just came down to two. It's the cherry and the, I believe, blue raspberry was the one that got it done for me. I was never a fan of like the Coca-Cola or the Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Slurpees, but yeah, just give me the red and blue and I can get down with that.
I haven't had one in forever.
Me either.
They had a blueberry lemonade or something at some point.
I like that.
So anything in the like cherry, Blueberry, I'm in on that.
You can't handle the truth.
All right, next question. You don't have to be a gamer to answer this one, but talking about college football 25 again, a lot of people like to choose lower-level FBS programs to build up in their dynasties. Just looking around the lower level of the FBS, which program or which team would you like to start a dynasty with?
Ooh. Start a dynasty with a lower-end program?
In the FBS.
Yeah, so basically like start them from a 2-star program and build them up to like a perennial national champion.
Good question.
I mean, would like my brother went to, got his MBA at Tulane. My nephew wound up going to Tulane. I love Nolans. Hopefully we'll be there for the Super Bowl. I would like to do them a favor and take the green wave to something great because they've had some good players. They have our guy from the receiver we love that went to the Bears, kid from Tulane.
Darnell Mooney. He's in Atlanta now. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Let's go. I'll go with the green wave.
I'm going to go with the squad that I like their colors, CB. I'm all in, and the location's not bad either. And AR, you're going to like this because you love golf. I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina. Let's build up
Chanticleers.
Yeah, let's build up Coastal Carolina. They it's not really the same color as the Carolina blue. It's a darker shade of that. But I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina, and we're going to have a good football team coming out of Myrtle Beach.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth.
All right, today's fan poll will ask you this. When will the Blue Jackets name their new head coach? Will it be this weekend, by the end of July, in August, or before training camp?
It's probably the smart choice will be end of July. Yeah. There's no way this goes past the end of July. I don't think at this point.
Not.
I mean, no, they don't have a coach in 3.5 weeks. Right. I mean, now it's already Thursday. They're not going to have one by tomorrow after the whole McClellan fumble. So I feel like end of July is the right answer.
That is the right answer. I'm rolling with AR on that.
And the truth shall set you free.
Before we leave, if you missed Jared Dubin talking all things NFL, and it was a Gold Jacket Thursday, we had the Hall of Fame running back John Riggins on. If you missed either one of those interviews or anything else throughout the show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Our faces will be there waiting for you, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast as well.
When you took your parents on the little tour you took them on, did you take them up to the little cafeteria?
We haven't gone there yet. We're going to get a little post-game meal coming up for them after this.
Hey, Maddie, put it on my tab.
I got you. It's a big one.
It's a swipe.
It's a big tab.
No, it's great to see them, and that's awesome. You'll have a great afternoon. All right, so the afternoon continues here. Very special show for Common Man and T-Bone. They've done this before. They're going to do it again. They're going to do their annual No Sports Show for 3 hours, and you will tune in. You'll want to. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. This is a Fan Action Update.
Week 1 starter odds for the Steelers have Russell Wilson at -1,000 and Justin Fields at +550. Oddly enough, there are odds if Justin Fields will return at kickoff in the regular season. Yes, it's 3-1. No, it's 5-1. Bo Nix is the favorite to be the starter for the Broncos at -300, with Jarrett Stidham 4-1 and Zach Wilson +550. And Jacoby Brissett is -275 to be the Week 1 starter for the Patriots. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Soak up the savings this summer from Family Dollar. It's never been easier. Just download the Family Dollar app, sign up for smart coupons, and see how you can save more than ever before. Enjoy smoking hot deals on cookout classics, or get ready for outdoor fun with SPF for the whole family, plus pool toys, decor, and so much more. Check out the app today and get ready to save with the Family Dollar Summer Savings Event. New offers drop every week. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call